bro. I was losing a lot of It's crazy since the marches, the protests. All right, yo, we live. Yo, what's good, YouTube? It's your boy Mike Rashid.
Party Tour Body.
We got special guests. We got
Very
my homies, fresh and fit, all the way from Miami. What's up, fellas?
Hey, man, what's up, bro?
Miami in the house.
Yes,
thanks for having us on the show, man.
Thanks for being here. I met these brothers in Miami about a month ago.
Yep.
And had a good time on their podcast. I know people thought that I was mad at the night show. Yeah. They do two shows a day. Mm-hmm. We did one normal show in the daytime and then a lit one at night with 8 women.
Yeah.
And it was my last day in town.
Yeah.
And everybody trying to see me.
Yeah.
And I was like, so many people, it was taking forever for everybody.
Oh,
bro,
yeah,
it takes a while, bro.
And listen, I had to leave. And I'm like, I can't leave. But it's killing me because some people like, yo, I'm going to have to just catch you next time.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, guys, I'm sorry.
Nah, that's cool, bro. We didn't take offense to it because, like, you had told us, and I was like, no biggie. Because even before the show, for the people that don't know, like, you were real cordial about it, whatever. And then we were getting a heated debate with some crazy feminists about, like, the wage gap and stuff. That's, like, one of our most viewed videos now.
Okay.
Because everyone's like, bro, this chick is crazy.
And bro,
that
think
I was
about
debating
it.
with.
You did 2 shows, bro. If you weren't messing with us, you wouldn't do 2 shows. So.
Yeah, bro.
Nah.
So for those that are wondering,
I fuck with y'all.
like, we fuck with Mike heavy, man. Yep. So
I was impressed with the setup. Like, I love YouTube. This is not like my bread and butter by any means. It would be dope for it to be because it could be so lucrative, but it's not. But I love it. I love YouTube. I love the idea that I do have a big following, and we do leverage a lot of business with YouTube. Yo, for those who thinking about starting a YouTube channel, just think about it. You get paid to promote your services, products, you know what I'm saying? Your ideas, build your personal brand. It's the best.
Yeah.
And unless you're going against community guidelines or doing things that are outright inflammatory, you more or less have your own TV station.
100%.
That you control the programming on.
And that's where YouTube's going next.
And if you make all the programming dope, then you get to run the ads too.
100%.
That's really like you mentioned, a cornerstone of our businesses.
Mm-hmm. Peep this. So we get to y'all, but I remember hearing about, you guys heard of Philip DeFranco? Huge YouTuber. I love it. He got a dope show on YouTube, but I heard about how he doesn't really deal with networks. He gets his own sponsors or ads, right?
Yeah.
And I was like that was so out of this world to me, right? Now I'm doing that. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully I get to the point to where I can sell ads for other people because he does that.
Right.
You know what I mean? So he becomes his own network, and that's the dope. That's so dope.
So you got to do it.
Yeah.
Quick tip: we got some sponsors now too.
Yeah, man.
So all right, so let's talk about you guys' channel because y'all y'all made a huge splash, and it's happening pretty fast.
Yeah.
So let's talk about what is the channel about because I think it's kind of controversial for a lot of people.
And I'll say this before you start: Mike and I compare notes all the time. If he's somewhere, he's like, "Hey, this is what's going on here. Like, this is what you need to know about it," or like, "We need to talk about this." And for him to hit me up that same day when he went there, and he's like, "Yo, their shit is dope. They have a great setup.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
They've done a really good job over here. It's very cool." That speaks highly because we go to a lot of places. Mike's been on a lot of podcasts, and for him to hit me like that means you guys are doing something right over there.
Thank you, bro.
Thanks,
I appreciate that a lot, man. And we say it all the time. Like when other content creators come in and they like what we're doing and they like the content, like, yeah, I actually watch y'all. That means a lot to us because as a, fellow content creator, obviously you guys know what goes into it, everything like that. So if you guys like it, it's like a huge cosign. So thank you so much for that.
For real.
Yeah.
So girls be getting kicked off y'all show.
Yeah.
I mean, in all fairness, I seen the dude get kicked off too.
Yeah.
All right, so the guy that got kicked off,
Yeah.
I wouldn't have kicked him off.
You would have kept him on?
Explain your position.
Why we did it?
Okay. No. I would have had him explain his position.
Oh, okay.
Because when people are ridiculous, let's unpack that. Talk about it.
Yeah.
I want to hear them kill themselves. You know what I'm saying?
See, there's some backstory to it behind the scenes too that wasn't on camera. So
Okay.
I'll tell you guys
go ahead.
behind the scenes a little bit here. So we linked up by his manager, sent an email, "Hey, he wants to come on the show. Cool, no problem." Came to the studio, came downstairs. Really nice guy, very cordial. Went upstairs, saw the girls, whatever. But went outside to smoke or do whatever he did. He went to the balcony and smoked or whatever. When he came back, totally different person. I'm like, bro, who are you? Like, dog, you were cool at the beginning. Now you're weird. Anyhow, sits down with the girls, making some crazy remarks like, "Oh, I'm daddy. Call me daddy." I'm like, Bro, chill out, bro.
He was saying call me daddy, but
Yeah,
he's
they're
like I'm a
girls.
Muslim. The same. Okay.
I don't know, bro. Anyhow, long story short, he is there vibing, whatever, and I asked him, yo, bro, tell me about yourself. I'm swagging. I'm like, bro, what happened to you? So I don't know why he smoked on the balcony, but that nigga went off after that, bro.
That wasn't weed. That was something else.
Something else, bro. So,
or he just can't handle it.
And then to speak to the disrespect, bro. Tell him about that,
Yeah,
bro.
like, because here's the thing, man. Like, he was already starting to slur his words, and he was like making the girls feel uncomfortable. And like, some of those girls are like actually like we mess with them, like we rock with them. They're like girls that we mess with.
Yeah.
And like he was making them feel uncomfortable, whatever. And they were being polite about it. They weren't saying too much, but I could tell like the air was awkward and everything like that. And then like just on air, like he was just like trying really hard to like, you know, qualify to the girls and stuff. I'm like, bro, you don't got to do all that, man. Like, what's going on? And then like I made a point about how I'm not going to be particularly monogamous, right? Because like I have a whole. We could talk about that later on about my views on that. But then he like
you have
tried
a
to like
position
shame me.
of most men. You're just honest about it.
Yeah, I'm just exactly. Yeah. So he made like a very like backhanded comment that kind of like insulted what I had just said, and then the way he said it was where it was like, well, you know, y'all better watch out, not talk to me like that, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, all right, man, like this dude's destroying the quality of the show. The girls feel awkward, and he disrespected us just now, and he disrespected us in the beginning when he said, oh, I don't even know where I'm at. I don't even know this podcast. Oh, but I like y'all setup is dope. And I was like, man, so he's not really contributing to the show, and it's hurting. And then our chat, we do a live, as you know. Yeah. And they were all like, kick him out, kick him out, kick him out, kick him out.
You gotta get the people what they want.
Yeah, so like on YouTube and on Twitch,
right.
they're like, kick him out, kick him out. And I didn't know until after, because I was like already heated. Like I was already mad as hell, because I was like, bro,
when Myron stopped talking, he is livid, bro.
Yeah,
he talks a lot, and he means a lot. But like when he went quiet, I was like, bro, this nigga's triggered, bro.
Yeah. So, but he brought him. So I was like, out of respect for him, I'm not gonna. I'm gonna see. Hopefully he'll chill out. Maybe he'll sober up a bit. We even gave him water on air.
We did.
And he just like kept wilding out. So I was like, nah, bro, you gotta go. So I told him to leave. He left. He was respectful about it. You know, it is what it is. I don't have a problem with him. You know, personally, I just like. He was destroying the quality of our show, and we you know, we take it very serious, as you've seen, you know. So we're like, bro, you got to go. Like, you're ruining the conversation, making the girls feel awkward. Like, nah.
But for example, right? If it's not your platform, like we would never come here and disrespect you on your platform.
Hell no.
It's your platform, bro. So we want the same respect and courtesy. Hey, bro, you're on our platform. We respect your opinion, but you can't be saying like, fuck it in, next topic. What? Yeah. It's not your show, bro.
I wish that, because it won't make me mad or nothing. I would just keep, let's talk.
Yeah.
And maybe I'll agitate him in a real clever way and just make him look stupid.
I gave him a couple of chances. That's the thing, too. Like, he like, it was like 30, 40 minutes in. So I, like, kept trying, like, let me, because.
See, I didn't see that whole one. I just saw the clip.
The clip, right? Yeah. Because a lot of people saw just the clip, and they were like, yo, why'd you kick him out? Like, you were acting, you were too rash. And I was like, bro, watch the whole thing from the beginning to the end. You
wasn't irrational at all.
Yeah, like.
I'm just sadistic.
Yeah.
And if somebody's cutting themselves, like, keep going.
Yeah.
But Mike, you gotta remember, he's the Punisher.
I was like, yeah. But like, but yeah, I tried to give it as long as I could, bro. And I was like, nah, man, this dude is, he's got to go. Like, like, to me, I looked at it like, you're going to show up on the show, like, super high, drunk, whatever it is, like that doesn't respect the platform. And on top of that, when I made my point, he was like trying to say like, man, and y'all didn't even read that girl's super chat correctly and all this extra shit. I was like, bro,
why are you
what the hell?
Just go to sleep.
I was like, bro, like.
So hold up. So far, people who don't know, they know that you're out of Miami. You have some kind of a dope podcast.
We can talk about our podcast.
And they probably know it's called Fresh and Fit, but what's it all about?
So basically, man, we bring what women want and what men want in the one room and discuss it, right? Because a lot of people say that, oh, like, for example, girls will say, oh, I want a high-value guy, but what does he really want? Do you actually know that, right? So we talk about what men want, what women want, and it's kind of like we bring up, you know, trending topics. Like, let's say someone has a topic about, like, dating a celebrity. We'll talk about that topic with the girls, vice versa with ourselves. So our show kind of brings the dynamic of what men want and women want together. We talk about it behind closed doors.
So it's in the same vein as Kevin Samuels.
Not quite.
No.
So I'll say with our show too, like, so we talk about fitness, finances, and dealing with girls. So like on Mondays we talk about, you know, making money, whether it's cryptocurrency, real estate, whatever. Because we're both like real estate investors and we're both into
Credit scores,
crypto,
credit cards, real estate.
credit cards, that stuff. And then Wednesday we call it Womanizer Wednesdays, where we talk about dating and girls. And then Friday is like
womanizer is such a horrible word. Right?
It's not a good word.
No. Like what it is like dudes doing their thing, but it sounds like I'm womanizer. I'm using this in weird ways.
It sounds hateful.
Right.
We love it though.
We're
so
controversial,
we're controversial. So Money Mondays, Womanizer Wednesdays, and then Friday is like typically we do reactions or we'll do current topics, trending topics, and then those are during the day, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 6 p.m.
Right.
And then at night, typically somewhere between 6 to 7 days a week, we bring girls in and it's called Fresh for After
How y'all
Hours.
get all these girls all the time?
Oh
Man, you want to hear the origin story?
Yes.
Yes.
And the casting, because look, every night they have at least no less than 5 girls, right?
Yeah, 5,
When
10,
I went on,
15.
it was 8 girls. You know what I'm saying? But every night it's a multitude of girls. It's usually different girls, right?
Yeah. So funny story, man. So we actually practice what we preach, right? And we we're going double dates all the time, bring girls out. And then this one time we went to a club. They went back to the studio. It's like 2 a.m. And we're like, bro, what are we doing now? It's kind of lit. And we're all like, getting lit, whatever. And I'm like, yo, bro, let's go live on YouTube. He's like, bro, you want to go live right now with these girls? I'm like, fuck it, let's just do it. Let's just do it. So we went live, bro, and it was a hit. People loved it.
Yeah.
They were saying like the most wild shit. And people were like, yo, this is dope. Do it again. So that kind of birthed the essence of the show after hours.
Fresh for After Hours.
And then
our nighttime show.
We used to smash the girls before the show. We realized that smashing them before the show kind of makes it diluted. So now we have a producer, source of girls for us.
He smashes them.
No. We don't look at this point.
Nowadays we
he deals with all the girls. We just do the show and then that's it for the most part.
He finds the girls now.
Yeah,
him and he has a team of people that help us out that get the girls for us, and then like they just you want to come on the podcast. And then, like, because we're buzzing in Miami now. So the girls will come on. Like, we bring on a lot of strippers, entrepreneurs, OnlyFans girls, career women. Because a lot of people complain, you only bring bimbos on. No,
we don't.
We bring female entrepreneurs on and career women, too. It's just that people try to say, like, oh, no, they're different. Bro, the hardware might be different, but the software is the same. A lot of modern women have the same mindsets a lot of times when it comes to men.
Okay, so I hear Uncle Kev. I call him Uncle Kev.
Shout out to Kevin Samuels,
Shout out. He always say modern women, right?
Yeah.
What is a modern woman? I'm going to tell y'all this. A lot of these terminologies, even red pill, blue pill, I never even heard. Like I heard it on a Matrix years ago, and that was it. Right? When you're in your world, you just not aware. It's a lot of shit that may be going on.
Yeah,
it may be a lot of shit going on in my world that you have no idea about.
Facts,
right?
Yeah, of course,
and it goes both ways. So I never heard any of this shit until like meeting y'all and then being introduced to Kevin Samuels' content.
Yeah.
So what's a modern woman?
Honestly, man, a modern woman is a woman that's taken the feministic views of today's society and made it her own. Because in reality, things were way different back in the day. Back in the day, we had traditional roles, and those roles were played out by men and women. So men would go out, go to work, bring the bacon home. The woman would clean, cook, take care of the kids. That was kind of like the traditional roles. However, nowadays it's like, okay, I'm a boss, babe. I'm independent. I make my own money. I don't need a man. Or if I want a man, he better bow down to me. And it's like, women are not meant to lead. They're meant to like help and support the family. But once again, the roles are reversed. The agenda is being pushed, and men are now more beta. Women are now more alpha, more
okay. So when you say the agenda is being pushed, what agenda and being pushed by who?
Man, I don't want to get conspiracy theorists here, but
let's do it.
All right. So basically,
because honestly, bro, like when people say attack on masculinity, and agenda talk, I'm like, who? Because how I see it, I don't see enlighten me because I don't know everything.
Yeah.
But from my perspective, I don't see an attack on masculinity, right? I think everything's fine. There's problems everywhere, always will be. But overall, shit is normal, right? Generally speaking, right? Now, a lot of times, certain things get highlighted. Just because something's highlighted, it doesn't mean that that's the norm. You know what I'm saying? So, because I hear this a lot, this agenda, whose agenda is it? Who's pushing it? Because this is a man's world, right? This I don't see it no other way, and I'm not saying that in a misogynistic way, motherfuckers out there. I'm just stating the facts. You know what I'm saying? So, is it other men that want to?
You go ahead and give your take on it, and then I'll comment. I'll go after.
There's a whole
masculinity
world behind the scenes that's not highlighted by the news, TV, and think about this, right? the family's being destroyed. You destroy the man in the family, you take away the man, you're destroying the family completely. And a lot of people, right, like you said earlier, this is not mainstream news because, one, no one's going to put it on the news to be talked about. And two, a lot of guys have these problems. They don't have anywhere to go. Women have The View, they have The Real, all these shows and talk shows they have. Men don't have anything. So men are actually now majority virgins, right? A lot of guys are suffering with depression, also, healthy mind state because, once again, no one's telling them how to become men, how to actually navigate in the marketplace. And then once again, females now are being showed a lot of like benefits that guys don't have right now. And I feel like we're overcorrecting, females becoming, I would say, more like, what's the word? They're becoming more like men. So in terms of like just the agenda itself, I would say it's also the TV shows, the music, City Girls, Hot Girl Summer, all that's pushing women to be boss babes, be independent. And at the same time, I get it. They should have their rights and everything like that. But we're overcorrecting because men are now suffering a lot more than women. But no one talks about it. And I feel like
suffering, like you said, mental health.
Yeah. And I feel like our podcast gives men the space to say, you know what? Finally found a place I can rest and understand why I act this way, how to overcome it. So I just feel like the agenda itself may not be one person, but it's a collective thoughts of and ideas pushed against men. So that's just my opinion.
Who's pushing it?
I would say the TV stations, the music. People talk about Illuminati. I don't know if that's true, but something's being pushed where the family's being destroyed and men are being taken out of the equation, and the women are rising up to the occasion and saying, hey, you know what? I can be independent. I can be a boss babe, get what I want, and be masculine. And I feel like at some point you got to say, hey, you know what? If I'm single at 35 years old, why is that? And it's because what you think men want is not what they really want. You've been told a lie by society saying, hey, get your money up, get your bag up. You can do this shit yourself, and you can get the man you want. But the traits you have to get to become that woman, men don't want that. Men want peace, right? Mm-hmm. So most women, those characteristics, they're very, argumentative, competitive, and like, let's be real here. When you come home from work, you don't want to argue with your girl. You don't want to have to fight. Like, yo, babe, let's go out to eat. Let's have fun. And it could be a huge headache. So I'm just saying, most women don't know what men want, but they've been told by society how to act a certain way, and vice versa. Men have been told to act a certain way as well, but they don't know how to get women as well. So,
right.
All right, before I go into this, because I took some notes down, everything else like that. What I'm about to say, guys, does not reflect the people on this podcast. This is Myron Gaines' opinion.
Uh-oh.
Okay, so I'm gonna trigger a lot of people, but I'm gonna say it. I don't care. Is that cool with you, Mike?
Let it rip.
Okay. I can swear it too.
100%.
Okay, all right. You see, that's called respecting people's platform.
That.
You know
you need
what I'm
a drink? You need some Remy?
I'm good.
Oh, man.
So with modern women, first, so typically what I would define, because I guess it's a term that can, be left up to the individual to define. How we define it typically on our show is a modern woman is a woman that adopts feminist ideals when it suits her, but she also adopts traditional ideals when it suits her, but absolves herself of the negatives of both. Okay? So for example,
buy t-shirts.
Yeah. But yeah, for example, typically a girl will say, hey, I want you to treat me like a lady. She'll expect you to, pay for the date, be a leader, have that strong masculine presence, have that confidence. But at the same time, if you say, hey, make me a sandwich, oh, you're toxically masculine, you're a misogynist. But you are always held to your masculine burden of performance while she can absolve herself of her traditional feminine burden of performance. And that's the problem. Guys are pretty much paying full price for women that don't really want to be women anymore traditionally, but they still have to be traditional men. You know what I'm saying? Like a man's roles are static while her roles are negotiable. And that's what we kind of point the light at, that this is BS, because guys are having to stick to their traits, but girls can absolve themselves of theirs. So that's number one.
All right, let's
with the modern women.
Let's go on number one.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Is that your personal experience? And I know you have many, but is that the majority of your experiences?
I'll be honest, with most women that I've met in the United States or like in the Western world in general, they tend to have this ideology that they want to be equal to a man at certain times, but then they want to be treated like a lady at other times when it benefits them. So they want to be able to kind of pick and choose when they'll be a lady or when they'll be, a strong, independent woman.
Can you give me some specific examples?
Sure. So like, if you meet a girl, right, and she's gonna expect you to like plan the date, be chivalrous, maybe open a door here or there, seat her down, be a gentleman, walk in front of her, like these traditional masculine traits. I'm all for that. I'm cool. I think it actually works better when it's traditional. Yeah. But at the same time, if you ask her to adhere to traditional feminine traits, can you clean my place? Can you make me some food? Whatever. She gonna look at you like, fuck you, nigga, I ain't doing it. And a lot of girls have that mentality like, look at Cardi B. Don't cook, don't clean, but still got a ring. And the problem is that she's indoctrinating so many young women to think this way, that it's okay to be a boss babe or whatever it is. And that's cool. I'm not saying women can't have careers or whatever. But the problem is that a lot of women, if you ask them what they truly want in a man, they want strong, virtuous, masculine men that adhere to traditional masculine standards, but they don't necessarily want to be traditional women. Mm-hmm. And that's the problem.
Well, let's take, all right, so Cardi B is a superstar.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, for sure.
She's not a realistic representation.
No, she's not. But I'm saying like she's indoctrinating people because like people listen to her music.
Right, you have her, but you have Beyonce on the flip side as well, right?
Yep.
So, but neither of them are good representations of real life. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
I think I hear what you're saying, but as you're talking, I'm going through my mental Rolodex of experiences, and I'm like, I've had a couple girls that didn't want to clean or didn't clean or whatever, right? Yeah. And I'm not the type of person to say anything. Yeah. I just want to see what you're going to do. I don't want to teach you how to be a woman.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
So, and I make my decision based on everything that I observe. But for the most part, that's not what I have. For the most part, the women that I've dealt with in my life, they without anybody saying anything, they fall into the grooves of being the woman, the supportive, caring, I don't fight. I don't do that. Like the girls will get mad because I won't do all of that. You know what I'm saying? It makes them more angry if I'm like, this is not productive, so I'll wait until you know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is this though, right? I feel like what is people's real experience, right? Mm-hmm. Now I don't disagree with anything that y'all say. Mm-hmm. I agree with all of these pillars and these tenets, but I don't see it as this big issue. I know that there's motherfuckers out there running amok and doing weird shit, right? Yeah. Yelling at guys, whatever. Yeah, it's always been like, I don't know if it's always been like that, but I know it's like that to some extent. I don't think that's reality for most people, though. You know what I'm saying?
See, it's funny because I just think the same way until I saw the problems that with guys that we coach. So we coach now thousands of guys across the world, Australia, Canada, the States, even in the islands, right? And it's funny because a lot of these guys, like, they have these problems and it's kind of like they don't know where to go. Mm-hmm. So they come to us for these problems, and then we did as well. We're also in the game as well, dating girls every single day. So we see it live in our lives, plus from our students and from our coaching clients.
And the other thing too I want to say is that what we've been able to do is we've kind of been able to bridge the gap. So like we have hundreds of guys that we coach behind the scenes. We have a lot of supporters from shout out to Canada, Australia, New Zealand,
even girls,
England, even girls. Yeah, like pretty much in a lot of first world countries, right? And the problems are the same. And then we're bringing in women every single night. At this point, we've interviewed hundreds of women. Girls. So from training the men and then also bringing the women on and asking them what they like on an honest platform where, we tell them, if you lie, the chat's going to roast you and we're going to put on these blue hats, you're going to cap. Right, and they're honest about what they want. And it's very amazing to see why so many guys struggle, because the reality is this. The modern day women, right, just like I said before, where, about how they want a traditional man, but they themselves don't necessarily want to be traditional. They have certain standards that are fairly high, and quite frankly, sometimes are delusional. They're higher than what they. Average women, typically on a balance of probabilities in the West, don't want an average man. They want a man that's above average a lot of times. When we ask girls, what do you want? Yeah. They pretty much describe the same avatar: 6 feet tall or higher at least, and $100,000 a year, be confident, be able to be, control a room, be ambitious. Like a lot of women describe a top like 5%er a lot of the time. Mm-hmm. And what happens is a lot of younger guys or guys that are average get ostracized from the dating marketplace. And we have a bunch of theories as to why we think this has happened that we can go into more detail if you like. But that's what I would say is a modern day woman that, at least from what we refer to, because a lot of women basically have these ideologies that I'm going to be a modern day woman. I'm going to be strong and independent. I'm going to work my career, whatever, but I still want a man to be traditional while I don't have to necessarily be traditional on my end. Now, going back to the agenda, what Fresh said, as far as like what we have going on, what we've been able to notice, and a lot of people in the sphere talk about this as well, is that I know you said that you think it's a man's world. I respectfully disagree. I think it's a gynocentric society. I think that we live in a world nowadays where the female way of thinking is correct. Schools are set up to, basically have girls excel versus little boys not necessarily, because
how is that?
So school nowadays promotes, sitting still, taking tests, and all these types of things are better centered for girls to succeed versus little boys?
Actually, this is something I'm very interested in because of my children, right? And I go back and forth with, should I even let them go to school, right? Because school was set up for factories, right? Creating factory workers.
Yes. Yep.
Right?
Yes.
So it wasn't a gender thing. You know, it was a legitimately like, we're going to make more employees.
Exactly.
We're cranking out workers. So, and that literally, and for a huge portion of that, when it started like that, women weren't even in the picture to that extent.
But I would say the education system
It's evolved.
It's evolved, but it's also better suited for girls because women tend to be more agreeable. They tend to be more communitarian in nature.
High nature.
The way that, they tend to side with the groups. They know their strengths in groups because they're biologically the weaker sex physically. So, it's only been since modern day times that women have been able to exist and live and thrive without the provisioning and security of a man. So I always say reality does not adhere to social constructs. And these social constructs is women could be strong and independent, everything else, but women still want a man that's stronger than them, taller than them, makes more money than them. They're still looking for a guy that is better than themselves. Women never seek their equal. Typically, they want to seek, at bare minimum, their equal, if not higher.
And here's
women
the
date
problem
up.
with modern women today, right? Number one problem is they don't want to submit to men, right? Because for the most part, they want to have their own thing on the side. So if they meet a guy, they don't need him, they might want him. And that's not a problem, but I feel like the word submit has a bad connotation to it, submission. But for the right guy, you should. And on the other hand, guys, they need to level up to become what women actually need rather than what they think they want. So it's a two-way street, but at the same time, even the colleges, bro, they're mainly run by girls. Mainly girls attend college. Most guys are not going to college now.
Over 60%. And the other thing, too, going back to what I was saying, because I took some notes down real quick because you guys were having a great conversation. And the reason why I think it's a female-centric society versus a male-centric society is because men are held to a burden of performance, but women aren't necessarily held to a burden of performance. I'll give you guys examples. So if a woman is fat, annoying, crass, or whatever it is, there's conventions in society to make her feel better for her bad decisions. You're fat, love your curves, girl. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Body acceptance, right? If she's rude or crass or bitchy, oh, it's okay. You're a strong, independent woman. They can't handle you. Small dick energy. He's insecure, blah, blah, blah. But men don't necessarily get these same social conventions for being a failure. If you're fat, a loser, broke as a man, society holds you accountable for your bad decisions, as they should. The problem is that if you hold a woman accountable for anything that she does or any bad choices she makes, there's almost zero accountability. And as a matter of fact, if you tell her, yo, you're fat or you're ugly or whatever it is, just like a man could be told, you're considered misogynistic. No, fuck that shit. I'm realistic. I accept the reality that there isn't a burden of performance on both genders. So when you call a woman out, it's considered unflattering or real. But if you say anything about a man, like, oh, he's broke, he's a scrub, TLC, I don't want no scrub. We have a whole society where it's completely okay to shit on men, but it is not okay to hold women accountable for their bad decisions.
My brother, I love you. I disagree with you.
Yeah,
I disagree.
So
I disagree.
And I'll say one last thing. Last thing I was going to say was anything that holds women accountable is considered misogynistic versus women. There's been misandry going on all the time, but most people don't even know what misandry is because no one holds women accountable when they talk shit about men. Niggas ain't shit. I hate all men. This is completely all over the place on TikTok, YouTube, whatever. Completely acceptable. Let a guy say something negative about a woman. Canceled. Oh, I don't date fat bitches. Canceled. You're gonna get kicked off Bumble. You're gonna get canceled. You can't hold women accountable in today's day and age, but women could totally shit on men, and it's completely socially acceptable. Most women don't even know what misandry means, but they definitely know what misogyny is, and they are happy to throw that word out all the time. So, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, I think cancel culture is silly anyway.
Yeah.
Like, you can't cancel that's not a real thing, right? People allow themselves to get canceled by apologizing and shit like that when they're just, instead of standing their ground. Now, when it comes to men are scrubs, songs, it's way more songs disrespecting women, bro. Like, and we all love these songs, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. There's a song, Nate Dogg, I love Nate Dogg, rest in peace, but it was called Your Wife, My Bitch. You know what I'm saying? It's like, why? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or Chris Brown, I fuck a broke nigga bitch. Like, why you fucking my bitch? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, it
fuck bitches get money.
Fuck bitches. You know what I'm saying? Bitches ain't shit but hoes and tricks. Mm-hmm. It's like, really, listen, I got daughters, right? Mm-hmm. So I see things a little bit different.
Of course,
right? I'm not every woman's father. You know what I'm saying? But I do have a very protective energy when it comes to women because I have, the women that I grew up with are solid. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
They're like, they made me. I was serious because of them. You know what I'm saying? So because they were just doing their best to make ends meet, to try to get some respect in this world, because women get treated like shit. Like, this is something that nobody's addressing, right? Women get raped. I know a girl that was in the army military. She got raped, right? She went to her superiors. They were like, well, what you want to do? They gave her a settlement, a 6-figure settlement that's not life-changing by any means. You can take this, but you will be dishonorably discharged. That's like having a felony on your record.
Yeah. So dishonorable discharge is awful.
It's not good. And she felt she didn't have like a family. I'm like, who did you talk to about this? This is terrible. But she was bullied into that. You know what I'm saying? And a man ain't gonna get bullied into no shit like that, right? So I feel like there are a lot of concessions being made for women.
Yeah.
But it doesn't bother me because I feel like they need it. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Same thing with after George Floyd, right? It was Black Lives. You turn on the PlayStation, Black Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter. Like, they do that for black people. They do that for any people that have been disenfranchised. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's like you hit your little brother, boom, boom, boom. You need to give him some ice cream now. You know what I'm saying? It's like we've treated women like property for most of us being civilized, quote unquote civilized, right? So it's like, all right, it's cool. It doesn't take anything away from me. Like, if I say my girl's the boss, it's like, I'm clearly the boss. But I'm just giving her making her feel good. It's show some respect. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel any less of a man being a gentleman, being chivalrous. You know what I'm saying?
Now, I'll say this. So, because you brought up some good points there. My take on it is that, yes, definitely. First, I'll address the misogyny and misandry thing first. What I'm saying is that it's socially acceptable for women to shit on men, whereas for men to hold women accountable is considered not. And I know you had mentioned these songs before, Bitches Ain't Shit But Hoes and Tricks. I will say...
I don't want to cut you off, but I want to go point to point with you.
Okay.
It may be socially acceptable for that.
Yeah.
But it's also socially acceptable for men to have to have multiple women and women not. Now, I think if you look at the history of biology, it makes sense for men to have multiple women.
Exactly.
However,
and we can talk about that too. Why it's acceptable for men but not acceptable for women.
I understand why it is.
Yeah,
is very logical. However, men are not honest about it. So when you're lying to somebody, that's like, I feel like lying to someone who care about you is one of the worst things you could do to somebody.
But here's the thing: men have to lie about it. Yep. That's why our podcast is exploding because they shouldn't. But here's the thing. The reason why we're exploding in popularity right now is because we're saying what millions of men across the world think, but they can't say. Like, like I said before, if you hold a woman accountable or you say anything that betters men, especially from like, how do I say this, from a dating perspective, or gives a man a leg up in mating, it's considered misogynistic or rude. Because the thing is this: things that make men attractive to women from an arousal standpoint are inherently unflattering. I'll say that again: things that make a man attractive to women from an arousal standpoint are inherently unflattering, such as if I tell guys, hey, listen, man, don't buy her flowers. Don't take her to a nice place on a first date. You know what I'm saying? Don't do all these things. Instead, don't text her back immediately. Treat her like, treat her kind of like, not like a first option. You know what I'm saying? Be like a fuck boys women like to complain about on TikTok. But these are the guys getting all the girls. So when you reveal these uncomfortable truths that women are aroused by things that are inherently disadvantageous to them in a dating perspective, it's considered misogynistic, and they're going to come at you for it. When we tell guys, don't take a girl on a nice first date, or, you should always be trying to sleep with her on a first date. Don't do any of the chivalrous thing. We always tell guys, chivalry is earned nowadays, because since women aren't traditional, you don't want to be a traditional man unless she earns it, because that's a privilege now. You know what I'm saying? The way men have to deal with women, because it used to be back in the day, a woman came from a household with a father. He trained her right. He raised her right. She knew to respect and admire men. She understood that men are leaders. Nowadays, a lot of women don't respect men. I'm just going to keep it a stack. A lot of them don't, and it's like perpetuating our society. Look at these TikToks for these girls. It's open misandry, but no one checks them on it. But if a guy says anything that puts a man in a position where he can date women in a more intelligent sense, adopt to modern day women, it's considered misogynistic. He gets canceled, whatever. So Men can't be honest because if men are honest when it comes to intersexual dynamics with women, they're going to get canceled. They're going to get labeled a misogynist. They're going to get name called insecure, small dick energy, whatever. Fortunately for me, I don't give a fuck. I tell these girls exactly what's on my mind. I don't care. They can call me a jerk or whatever. I've been kicked off TikTok like 4 times. But if we got to take some arrows to tell the truth and have guys be able to come to a place and listen to dudes speak facts, you know what I'm saying, that barbershop talk, we'll take those arrows.
And also,
but I would say
very important too as well, right? Regarding dating, women think emotionally and they move emotionally off of their emotions, right? If you tell a woman the truth at the very beginning, she's probably gonna say, you know what, fuck this shit, I'm out of here. And look, I get it, right? I believe personally,
I think
like,
that's the best
case
scenario.
I believe that you should be honest at the very beginning, say what it really is. But most guys, let's be honest here, they're not getting laid or they don't want to lose their girl, so they can say, you know what, yeah, baby, I love you, you're gonna be the one. But deep down, they're like, you know what, I got a side chick here, a side chick here. But I can't tell her because if I tell her, she's gonna leave. So I understand why guys do it, but we say, hey, become so high value, level up your life so well that even if you do cheat, it doesn't matter.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
Floyd Mayweather said something that was brilliant one time.
Yeah.
Because they were talking about him having all his girlfriends. He said, look, if I can afford 9 cars, I'm gonna have 9 cars. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Yep. And that's the realest shit. Like what you just said is real. Yeah. Level yourself up to where it's a no-brainer. Right. Listen, I've had many experiences with women, and I used to lie. I'm not gonna lie. I used to lie all the time, right? And I was hurting people over and over and over, and hurting people I cared about. And I'm like, I'm being a piece of shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm being dishonest. That's low life energy for me, right? So I had to elevate out of that, and I started being honest. And I remember the first time I was like, look, what you think about him? Would you ever have a menage? You know what I'm saying? She's like, nah, I don't think so. I said, okay, say less, right? So then I sent her a video from like Pornhub of 2 girls, right? And it was a hot video. I'm like, you don't think that's hot? She's like, actually, that is hot. You know what I'm saying? So she's like, about that, is that something you want to do? I'm like, hey, I'm down. I don't need to, but why? What's up? You want to? You know what I'm saying? And then it started going down. You know what I'm saying? And then I just started being super honest about everything, and I learned that when you're super straightforward with somebody and like, look, I care about you, whatever it is you got to say or that you feel, that usually they're okay with it. Now I'm gonna be honest with you, like the women that I've dealt with in the past few years, there's only one that wasn't okay with that, and I'm like, fine. And listen, this was a situation to where she came out to stay with me for about a month or 2. This was when I was in Arizona. I said, yo, you down with menages? And she was like, nah. I said, all right, well, I like variety. So if I want to hang out with somebody, you cool with going to a hotel? She's like, are you serious? I'm like, yeah, I guess. And it happened like that. You know what I'm saying? So listen, from my experiences, being honest is the best case scenario. It makes your life so much easier.
See, I get what you're saying, Mike, but the average guy can't do that.
Okay, hold on.
Point,
but before, when I didn't have the confidence to say these things, because right now I can fly anybody in, I can fly anywhere in the world, I could do whatever I want to do, right? So, and there's always somebody who's going to be down for what you want, right? So when women realize that and they want you, if you're of value, they're going to like, all right, but I wasn't in position at certain times of my life to do that. So a motherfucker shouldn't be, if you're not in position, if you want that and you're not in position to be honest about it, get yourself in position. Quit spending energy on girls and spend energy on getting to the bag, developing your foundation. See, I don't think that we differ, right? But I think some of the energy should go to the men. Like, yo, level the fuck up. Oh yeah. Quit trying to, because look,
we yell at the guys too.
Yeah, quit trying to go on dates. Quit trying to maintain a woman, right? If you can't really hold it down like that, right, and move around the way that you really want to, because the problem is this. And I see young dudes on the show all the time. It's like, what are you on Tinder for? Go to school, like, or get a better job, or qualify yourself for this or that, And dudes is doing it backwards. And here's the thing: for young dudes, when you're young, full of energy, ideas, you need to be ferocious at developing your foundation, because the older you get, you're not going to have the energy to be hustling, you know what I'm saying? Yep. And you shouldn't, it hurts my heart when I see older guys going to work every day, back hurting. You know what I'm saying? I don't like that shit. It makes me think like, damn, what if that was my grandfather or my father? See, my grandfather, he did it right. You know what I'm saying? A very traditional situation. He retired after 40 years on his job. Him and my grandmother traveled all over the Caribbean every other month. You know what I'm saying? Until he passed away, and then she passed away, right? So they had a legit life, right? So I'm like, a man should, when you're young, instead of chasing women, chase the bag.
I agree.
And then the women will chase you.
Now, I just want to add to that as well. So, very important, right? Because we speak generally because of the guys on our show, because we know the average guy can't do certain things that we can do, vice versa. Back in the day when we were like nobodies, we had to do the same thing. I'll say this, right? When I first came to America, nobody knew who I was, right? I didn't even have a job, right? I had like $4,000 my name, and that whole year, I got a job. I grinded myself out, saved money, and that year I didn't date nobody, right? I took a full year off, right? Because I understood, hey, I need to level up, 100%. We tell guys on the show all the time, you need to do the same thing. Level up first, because dating women is a privilege, right? However, here's the problem though. Some guys want to do it regardless. So they'll lie, they'll do whatever they can to get laid, and I understand that. However, we're just saying, hey, if you're going to do that, level yourself up at the same time, because here's the problem, right? You can get laid here and there, that's cool. But reality speaking, when you're a young guy, you need to focus on success and building yourself up. You set foundation.
Right.
So 100% I agree there. But like I said earlier, generally speaking, most guys don't have that option, or they think they don't have a way out. And we're just saying, hey, you know what? If you're going to be in that position where you're going to lie and say, hey, girl, I love you, whatever, you're the only one, and then you're going to cheat on her, that's messed up. But if you level yourself up, you've made your own success, and you're very upfront about it, then it makes sense.
See, I have all right, so it was a dude, I can never remember the name of his channel, but he did a video about me after I did the stuff with you guys, and then me and Sean talked about all of this stuff.
Yeah.
And their position was like, well, Mike's different. Mike's genetically gifted. He has money, yada, yada, yada. I'm like, no. I'm genetically normal, right? I work out, and I've been working out since I was 12 years old, consistently. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's one aspect. Two, I work for everything that I've gotten, that I have, right? And I had to dig myself out of deficits, out of big holes that I put myself in, right? But even as a black man in this country, we starting out at a deficit off top. And I still work I was given nothing. I wasn't, nothing, it was no luck, right? It was all work and consistency. Even my YouTube channel, people can go to my first videos. It was just me filming my clients. You know, I leave that stuff up there so people see it wasn't no overnight shit, right? So, and even back then, I just listen, this is no bullshit. 2010, 11, I'm working in a gym, shout out to Metroflex. I'm just a trainer there, right? And I take everything I do serious, right? So I'm a purist at whatever I do. So I just noticed like people having problems with clients, dudes making girls uncomfortable. So I'm just another guy paying rent to train people there. But I pulled a meeting with the other trainers. I'm like, guys, you can't be fucking with the girls in here. You fucking up each other's money. Ain't nobody gonna you're not trying to marry none of these girls, so you're gonna stop talking to her. They're not gonna come back. I'm gonna lose a client. He gonna lose a client. You gonna lose a client. It's just fucking everybody money up. You know what I'm saying? So stop doing it. And the guys that didn't get that through their head, they still struggling to pay their gym rent 7-8 years later. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And I kept elevating because I took that shit serious. It was just fucking work.
Right.
And I was like really disciplined and dedicated to my craft and providing excellent service to my customers, my clients. So I'm just kind of I'm a stickler to young men in terms of like getting your life together, because my life was all the way fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Had I taken my life serious earlier, I'd probably be a billionaire right now. You know what I'm saying? But it took me a while to start getting it together, right? And a lot of that was chasing girls, wasting fucking time. You know what I'm saying?
So I got a quick point, because you guys were talking about lying to women and everything else like that.
Yeah.
So first and foremost, we tell guys on our podcast all the time, you need to get your money right. You need to get in shape and all the, no worries, bro. You have to get all these things on point, because I tell guys, you become successful not to get girls, but to not deal with the bullshit that inevitably comes from dealing with girls, right? Because when you make money, when you become successful, etc., you're going to have the confidence, which is going to create that abundance mindset that you can walk away from girls that give you some bullshit, and that's inherently going to make you more attractive, because men that don't care are more attractive in general. So, but what I will say is, we tell guys all the time, at least for me, I tell them you shouldn't even be thinking about a relationship until you have 5 things in place, which is make 6 figures a year, have at least 6 months to a year of earnings saved or a combination thereof. You need to be in shape. You need to have had sex with at least 50 girls, and then you need to be 35 years old at least. And the reason why I say this is because at this point, you're going to be experienced and vetted enough to be able to maneuver in the modern day marketplace with girls in a way where you're not going to get finessed. Because if you take an average woman that's 21 years old and an average dude that's 21 years old, that chick 9 out of 10 times is going to be far more sexually experienced than that guy. And for men, the things that make us attractive take time to procure. Yep. So you need to get to a point where you have experience with women, but you also have the financial standing and the confidence to walk away from women that are toxic to you, and you can discern the difference, most importantly. So we always say that's what you need in place. You get the success, then you get the girls. But with that said, about lying to girls,
I like these things, but I have a problem with the have sex with 50 women.
Okay, sure.
I'm gonna tell you why.
We could talk about that.
Motherfuckers gonna take that the wrong way, bro. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, all right, I just need to fuck at least 50 girls. Think about
not tricking though, not like prostitution and stuff. Like,
I'm not even saying that.
Oh, okay.
I'm just saying the amount of energy a motherfucker will spend. Because look, all of that shit you said makes sense, but you know that a lot of things are hard to do.
Of course.
But you should do it.
Yep.
But they're going to gravitate to what they want to do the most. Fuck 50 women. Mm-hmm. You know that. You know there's a bunch of motherfuckers out there right now like 50 women. All right, say less.
Yeah.
That's the first thing they're going to try to
mark off. But that's lifetime, though.
Yeah.
That's not that much. If you look at it like you could do
that's
that.
That's a lot to dudes that don't get pussy.
That is true. That is true. But the reason why I say 50, and I'll tell you why. Like, I mean, you know, if it's like 45 or something like that, you're still good.
you get a
yeah,
pass,
it's a variance.
45.
But the reason why I say 50 is because I know that as a guy, if you've gotten with 50 girls, more than likely you're gonna understand female nature to a point where you could take a girl from, how do I say this, dating potential to like a serious relationship. And the reason why I say that is because my thing is, I just don't want guys to get manipulated through sex.
Yep.
So girl game, and I'm gonna say it, they could get mad at me, whatever. 9 out of 10 times, girl game is this. Let me leverage my sexuality against this man for some kind of compliance, whether it's time, resources, money, attention, whatever it is. That's what girl game is. Finessing my sexuality for leverage against men, right? This is why we have a sugar daddy culture, whatever. Guys want sex and women know that, so they're going to do whatever they can to squeeze out as much as they can and not give up the sex, right? So what I want is guys to be in a position where the allure of pussy won't make them do stupid things to commit to a girl, because whether men want to know it or not, men by default have to bring far more to the table than women do when it comes to relationships. Sure. Period. They do. You know what I'm saying? Berfault's law is real. As long as soon as you stop giving value as a man, girls are going to look the other way. It is what it is. 80% of divorces are initiated by women. Women initiate most breakups. It's a fact at this point. So since we know that men have to bring more to the table, you also have more at risk. So since you have more at risk, you do not want something stupid like pussy to fuck up your life. So I know that at least if you've dealt with 50 girls, you're going to understand female nature to what I would say like at least an intermediary standpoint, where you're not going to get married to a girl that's going to destroy you. You're not going to shack up with a girl that's going to destroy you. And hell, you could still get hurt at that point with 50, but I'm saying bare minimum so you know what you're doing and hadn't had to deal with women in a general sense, because so many guys are willing to put their nuts on a chopping block for a girl that quite frankly doesn't bring value because they're not sexually experienced to discern, yo, this chick is useless outside a box.
Even in religion, they talk about it. Women destroy kingdoms and kings, because once again, you have to understand, like, look, most women are not there for you. They're there for what they can get from you and get out of you.
Facts.
So at the same time,
this is human nature, period.
Yes, but let's be honest here, right? Men have to bring value first, and they have a lot to lose. So women will say, hey, you know what? This guy is tall, attractive, in shape, but he's broke. The guy over here is a guy in computer and tech. You know, I'll take him, marry him, take his money, and go with this guy. So I'm just saying.
We leaving something out, though. Mm-hmm. We leaving something very important out.
Okay.
Most men knock up a woman and do it moving. So, yeah. Oh, women can fuck up your life, da-da-da-da. But most men fuck up women's lives. We're not acknowledging that. And we all know once a woman have kids, it's kind of like,
But that comes back to
a lot of
accountability.
people,
That's
it's
the
like-
woman's
it's-
fault, though.
That's her choice.
That's the like that's the thing. Like if a woman
Wait,
is a
wait,
single
wait,
mom,
wait,
it's
hold
their
on.
fault.
It's her choice.
It's their fault.
Her body, her choice.
I got hit with a lot of heat for that, for saying like,
Is, so
ahead.
responsibilities off the guy?
When that semen comes out and it's inside her body, it's her choice.
It's
her
on
body,
her,
choice.
100%.
I can't make her do anything. Hey, if you want to have it, that's up to you, but I don't want it.
like
I have
my
a problem
thing
with
is,
that.
yeah,
I have a problem with that.
Yeah,
because
with
it's
that, I knew that was gonna be
it's
controversial.
It's like why go up in a woman raw if you know that if she's pregnant, you're not gonna want to deal with it. Like that's not cool at all. Like even if it's not your intention, if it happens, you should motherfuckers should
Let's
really
be real
deal
here,
with it.
Mike. What do most women want? Raw sex. Even though they know off rip they can get pregnant.
No, that's what everybody wants, raw sex.
Okay, cool.
Okay, but there's things that come with that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Straight up. And the kid, listen, now I'm the one who's had the tough conversations with female friends of mine when they telling me they said, like, I'm pregnant, so on, you know, I'm like, well, what are you gonna do? And I'm saying, like, you know, and I'm not anti-abortion by any means. I'm like, well, what are you gonna do? And they're like, this one in particular, like, I'm not having an abortion. I'm like, but you just said that, you know, y'all shit is rocky. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but, and I said, listen, I'm gonna tell you something. The baby is not gonna bring y'all closer. It's gonna push y'all further apart because the baby makes it very unsexy. It's very taxing on the nerves, on the relationship. Y'all shit is already shaky. I don't think it's a good idea. And you're not financially stable. And I don't think, it doesn't look like this guy's gonna stick around, right? She kept it, the guy did it moving, you know what I'm saying? And it's on the woman to an extent. However, dudes can't be doing that shit, bro. That shit is not good for society. It's not okay.
here's the thing.
Because look.
Okay, go ahead.
Because these guys are doing that, creating all of these guys that don't know what the fuck
Facts
to do and how to treat
single
women.
mother households
We
are a
agree.
huge predicator for degeneracy in the West in general. Single mother households, it's statistically proven, you know, drug addicts, criminals, degenerates in general, people that just are burdens on society come from single mother households. But here's the thing, man. Pro-choice comes with pro-accountability. So the thing is, because I got in a big-ass debate with a woman about this, actually on the show that you were on,
Yeah.
and she was trying to say, oh, it's a problem. My thing is this. If I give someone $1 million, right? They have $1 million, but I have no say-so in how they spend the money, and then they end up 5 years later being broke, and then coming back and screaming at me saying like, yo, you're responsible for this money. But I was like, I had no control of the money, but you're responsible for me being broke now. That's how it sounds when women try to say, oh, you know, I decided to have the kid, but let me blame the single dad. Here's the thing. Women date up and women are hardwired to look for security for a reason. They're biologically designed to look for the best man. But the problem is that some guys have the game and they're able to circumvent that filter and get it in and leave. And it's on the woman to be able to discern if this man is a good potential bet for security with a child. And since women have the tool of abortion and they have the right to be able to abort any baby, men have zero reproductive rights in the United States. Women have all the authority of who gets born and who gets aborted.
Changing.
So,
But that's changing.
Yeah, but right now on the books, as of today, women have 100%. And once the semen leaves you, you have zero rights. So since you have zero rights, the woman has 100% authority, and with authority comes responsibility. And this is my problem with modern day women, is that a lot of them will fight me on this saying like, no, it's both of our faults because you impregnated me. No, you choose who has sex. Women universally pick who has sex.
So y'all say it's only on the woman.
100% because she chooses who gets aborted and who doesn't. So it's her body. I have zero say in it. So therefore it's her choice. But with that choice comes responsibility. You cannot have 100% authority and then try to take only 50% of the responsibility. That doesn't make sense. It's ridiculous. And it's just like, it's.
I can tell you right now, right? I married a single mom, right? I did single moms back in the day for sure. And I understand this, right? I asked all them the same question. Why did you choose this guy to have a baby for? Oh, I was in the moment. I loved him. But you know he was a bum. And my question is, okay, if you want to be with a guy, why choose a bum? And it's love. It's emotional, right? But at the same time, she could have chose, hey, you know what? This guy's not going to be there for me. He's going to be bad for me. This is not what I should do for my life. And I asked her, are you really happy? No, she's like, I have big regrets. And that's the majority of women, but they'll never say it out in public. So I'm just saying, look, at some point, yes, the man has to come inside of you or whatever pre-ejaculation to get you pregnant. But at the same time, after that fact, what do you do next? You just say, oh, you know what? Hopefully it'll work out. This world doesn't work on hope. It works on reality.
Yeah.
So the point is, if you choose a bum, and you have a kid with a bum.
So we expect.
I'm not saying it's right for the man to walk away. I want to make that very clear too.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying it's right that the man walks away.
Right.
If you had a kid, you should take care of it. But I don't operate on feelings. I operate on reality. The reality is a lot of dudes are going to run. They're not going to be there. So the woman needs to be intelligent to know, if I'm going to have a kid, is this man going to stick around? More than likely, no. And this is why I think it's so important to have fathers.
Yeah.
It used to be the father was a critical component in mate selection.
Yeah.
He will make sure that the person that she fucked was going to be in that baby's life. But since we have so many fatherless homes, men aren't involved in the reproductive process, and the mating process, and the marriage process anymore. Women are left to their own devices. People get mad at me all day. I don't care. Women, when left to their own devices, typically make bad decisions when it comes to relationships. They pick the fuckboy. They pick the guy that's not going to be emotionally invested long term, etc. Because women are aroused by long-term security. They're aroused by instant gratification sexually, and especially in today's society, that's what society perpetuates. Get the bad boy, get the fuck boy, whatever.
So all right. So I think that the issue here, it's levels, right? So it's gotta, like, just dating, this, that, and the third. It's gotta be a levels up above that of consciousness with men, because we can't expect a woman to think like a man. Because everything you're saying is very rational, but you, like, why did you get with him? He's a bum. You know why? Because he's convincing. Like, men are bigger than women, right? I'm saying that in a literal and a figurative way. More expressive, more convincing. You know what I'm saying? Nah, baby. Like, I know girls that are dope, educated women that fuck dudes. I know. I'm like, how'd that happen?
Yeah.
He compliment me every day, and I don't know. I'm like, wow, that shit works. You know what I'm saying? So it's like any man. I don't give a fuck. Any man can have any woman that he wants if he tries hard enough, right?
Yeah.
So does he deserve that? Like, nah, not necessarily, right? But sometimes women, man, they just, a man's presence, and who knows if she's absent of a father, and you know what I'm saying? A lot of women don't know how to really respect a man or know what a strong man looks like if they didn't have that in the household.
That's why father's so important.
100%. So us knowing that, like, guys that plan to have children, it's a 50-50 chance that you'll have a daughter.
Yep.
Unless you don't give a fuck, your daughter could be subjected to a lot of bullshit, because there's a lot of bullshit going on now. So here's my thing. I don't necessarily disagree with anything you guys are saying or stand for. However, a lot of the energy, I feel like, needs to go to guys' accountability too. And what are we doing here? Are we only out just to date and not taking anything serious? Or are we thinking serious and thinking long term, right?
Let me add to that real quick. So we tell guys all the time, right? Look, yeah, you want to go in there and smash girls, but at the same time, don't just pick a random girl like that. I'm just saying, look, if you like the girl and you want to see where it goes, go with that flow. Don't go like, oh, I'm just going to smash her because I want to smash her. Have some intent behind the dating. Make sure you say, you know what? Vet her first. And we say vet for like a year at least. If you want to take her seriously, vet her for a year, see who she truly is, because people will tell you who they are. You just got to listen to it, right? And at the same time, date for long term, but understand that, hey, you know what? Let's go on a bet that she might be for the streets. That way you're not going to leverage too much. You're going to be safe, but at the same time, you can see who she really is as a person and then go from there. But a lot of guys, they just want to get laid. They want to have sex, and I get it, but you got to understand, look, it's way more downsides to doing it than upsides. So just keep that 100%. In mind.
Where you at, Sean? You a little silent over there.
There's, I'm trying to decide where to jump in, because I think a lot of where you guys and where we differ, because I think Mike and I are in a very similar position, is from the very most foundational parts of this whole thing, which from watching some of the clips that we looked at, because I wanted to have a little bit of understanding where you guys are coming from without just having to get it right now.
Yeah.
And one of the foundational things that I saw was that men are able to provide security and resources, and women have their sexuality, and they want from men those resources, attention, and security. And there's this dynamic between the two, but it doesn't seem like you guys are allowing for the blur that is real life, where there is gradients of both of those things that the opposite can offer. Does that make sense what I'm saying? Meaning a woman isn't just only capable of providing her sexuality. A good woman, or a certain type of woman, and they are out there, I just don't know if you've experienced them or not. I believe you probably have, have the ability to magnify what a man does, to take the energies that he has and brings to the table, whether it's financial or power or security, and find ways to do more with it. So it's not just what's between the legs that they have to offer. They can make you better. They can motivate you, and not just to provide more for them, but to provide more for yourself, to get the most for yourself, to do the most, to be your best. So there's more to it that could be offered.
Yeah. So
And
even
here,
though,
hold on real quick.
yeah, go ahead.
The cycle's got to stop somewhere. And that's why it is so important that men own as much of this as possible, because if we think that biologically things are the way that they are, meaning like we're these providers of the security and the protection and the resources, and women are the providers of the ability to reproduce and the homemakers and et cetera, I believe that even with this cultural programming that's out there right now, the Cardi B mentalities and the city girls and the boss babe type of thing, even with that mentality being pervasive in culture right now, a man who has all his ducks in a row, he can encounter a woman who is of that sort, and she will still submit. She will still adopt those roles into what he's got going on. I've personally seen it happen. Yeah. And I think that's something that if the guy puts enough focus on himself, it'll still happen. And it kind of like can course correct this whole thing. If the guys are manning up enough, I think we can still like veer this thing back to where you're talking about with these traditional roles. And some women may not want that, and that's going to be their prerogative. But those women are gonna phase themselves out the game, or they're gonna have to come back in because they're not gonna get the man that they're looking for.
So hold on, real quick. I hate to cut you off, but look, I know y'all be like, don't read comments, but I'm reading them, and the level of disrespect, even while you're talking, is phenomenal, right? Turn his mic.
I can't
off.
even read.
He's
I'm
a
blind.
simp. I can read. I got my glasses on. They're being so disrespectful, right?
Wow.
And this is the problem, right? Nothing he said is unreasonable. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Regardless of what side someone stands on, but like these people are talking like, you know, this is all right. Your doctrine, like what you guys put out there, is for these people. You know what I'm saying? But they're astray. Look at this shit that they talk about, right? Because my thing is this: like life for me, I like to try to provide meaning and valuable insights from my perspective, right? First of all, one thing they're saying is like, not you're the exception. Everybody can't follow that advice. Most people are average. Okay, you could be average. That's fine. I'm not talking to you then, right? I'm talking to people. I've been saying this for years. Fuck being average.
Yeah, for sure.
Because you don't have to be average. That's a choice, right? It's a choice, a decision or indecisions. And that's fine. My message is not for everybody. I'm not saying it is. I shoot for go-getters, motherfuckers that's shooting for the moon. Because look, my father is 80, 70 something, 80. My father's 80, I think. And he's still shooting for the moon, right? I don't care how much money I have. I'm always going to be trying to get more, like, or success, or whatever, elevate my situation, right? So these people putting the clown, simp, is like, you know, this is, to me, this is a problem for like when I'm trying to give people information, I'm really trying to shift their perspective. I'm not just entertaining. I'm not trying to entertain them or whatever, right? But these people are not learning anything. You know what I'm saying? First of all, we don't disagree on anything, right? Yeah. But it's like all I'm doing is my thing is more putting more energy to guys like getting their shit together and level up. One guy said, well, if everybody levels up, that's the standard. Like, that's good. You know what I'm saying? So this is very interesting. It got me in my head a little bit about solutions, right? And how to articulate some form of education for people to where they're not just people. I feel like people are just looking for the lowest common denominator. Like the 5 pillars that you mentioned. Yeah. Like people are only looking for the fuck 50 girls. This is what I fear. Shit like that, right? And this is the perspective that these people are clearly showing. And I feel like that shit is so is not productive. Is not gonna. You guys are smart. These are not. You are not them. You know what I'm saying? I had a big problem with the comments. I had no problem with you guys. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You guys are not them. You guys are intelligent, thoughtful people, right? And successful. A person with these kind of mind states will never be successful. Like, you putting this kind of energy out there with your name attached to it, you don't care about anything, like how you're viewed, who sees this, whatever, right? So it's like, I don't know, the message needs to be given to these people in a more productive way or something, because look at this shit, bro.
I'll kind of give, because you brought some great points about, you know, if the men just rise up, the women are naturally going to get into their feminine.
Well, if it's biological, like if we're building this whole thing off the pretext that men are the providers and the stronger, and the women are going to fulfill a traditional role, and I guess we have to say what's traditional, but like if we're saying of the last, you know, few hundred years before now, if that's biological, right? If that's not something we've just decided, then a man who is great enough will have, and not great enough being the tallest or the strongest or what, just it's a combination of everything.
Yeah.
And you might be more so on the brain side, more so on the brawn side, or a certain, you know, amazing characteristic that you have, or whatever a blend of all of them is. But if it's enough, the mate that is suited to you will adhere, even if she previously had some other ideas.
Yeah.
They'll fall in line with what you're
So
trying to do.
I'll say this, because what you mentioned, on our podcast, we talk a lot about possibility versus probability. So what you mentioned is a possibility that a woman's going to fall in line and be more feminine and follow your masculine leadership.
Yep.
But the probability of that in today's landscape, with how many modern women are wired and their thought processes,
Very low.
it's going to be fairly low. And, you know, and the data shows that we bring hundreds of girls on our show. You can look at Kevin Samuels. The body of evidence is there. Average women don't want average men. As a matter of fact, they want a man that's above average for them to even contemplate submission. And just to kind of show the craziness of it. So like, let's say women aren't naturally submissive and they're okay with that. But what if I was to say, well, I'm not naturally masculine. I'm feminine only when I'm masculine only when I find a feminine woman. That'd be like me walking around in heels, wearing hair, in a dress, saying, oh no, I'm only masculine when I find a feminine woman. But that sounds crazy, right? For me to say that, but it's completely acceptable on the female side to basically be masculine all the time and feminine when they find the right guy. And to me, I look at it like, no, that's a clown world. Like, why are you not naturally feminine? And women are naturally masculine on a balance of probability. So we operate on probability that most modern day women, quite frankly, you're going to have to bring so much to the table that they're not necessarily worth it as a higher status guy. That's why we're all about not being monogamous at this point. Because it's like, so many women don't want to adhere to their traditional roles, but they expect you to be a breadwinner, taller than a masculine, all this other stuff. But they want to be able to kind of shift their roles when they see fit on their situation. So I agree with you 100% that if you're high value enough, if you're masculine enough, a woman will fall into her feminine 100%. But the probability of that happening is fairly low, especially when we talk with our argument, with our audience. Like, a lot of these guys are average guys, 5'9", maybe, you know, $50K a year. This is the average man. Most women laugh at that when we bring them on our show. Yeah. Like, we don't want that. I want something better. I told them, you're an average woman. Why don't you want an average man? And they literally give me this look like, well, I want better. And it's because we live in a society now where women are kind of put on a pedestal regardless of how poorly they behave, no matter how fat they are, no matter how crass they are, no matter how rude they are, because we have all these social conventions, like I was saying before, that allows women to behave poorly with zero consequence. And I always say it too, when you lie, women buy, right? So if you look at like, from an economic standpoint, women have 3/4 of the debt and they're 80% of the consumer base. So advertisers aren't stupid. They're going to market towards women. Let's look at Gillette. 2019, right? I think it was 2019 or 2020. Gillette released that controversial commercial, Toxic Masculinity. And they had men looking like bumbling idiots. They were trying to champion women as, you know, the correct way of doing things.
Lost millions.
Hell, a dude was out here like about to approach a girl like, oh yeah, she hot. He was going to go, you know, approach her. And then it goes like, hey bro, not cool. And that's why I think that there's an attack on masculinity, because the correct way of thinking is the female way of thinking, and anything that's traditionally masculine is considered misogynistic, rude, or whatever. And as a matter of fact, holding women to a feminine standard is considered misogynistic, whereas if you don't protect a woman or whatever is like that, it's completely acceptable for her to look at you and be like, well, you're a bitch-ass nigga. You didn't protect me when you were supposed to. Okay, when I told you make a sandwich, you told me, fuck you, nigga, I'm not doing it. So like that's what I'm trying to say. Like there's this it's not a fair deal for a lot of guys, and so many guys have to rise up to such a crazy level to be able to get these women to be feminine that it might not necessarily be worth it. You might as well just get like 10 girls instead of just trying to fight for one. But going back to
it seemed like that's a go for it.
Just to finish the thing. So that's why I think that there's an attack on masculinity, because when you lie, women buy. So we even have a masculine business, Gillette, out here attacking their own target audience to appease to women, because even they know that women are 80% of the consumer base and they're more likely to buy razors for their husbands. But they ended up losing a lot of money. People boycotted it, rightfully so, because you shouldn't be attacking your consumer base, especially if it's men, to try to make them look like bumbling idiots. But the thing is too, and also what I want to say is that men don't get the benefit of living in a Disney fairy tale, whereas women do.
We can't.
You know what I'm saying? Like, women have the privilege to kind of be like, I want a man that's 6 foot tall, making $100,000 a year. I have 2 kids and I'm obese, but I deserve that. Men, we have to live in a fact-based reality. Women get that privilege of living in a Disney fairy tale and having these crazy standards and no one really checking them on it.
But not forever, right?
Huh?
Not forever.
What do you mean? Oh yeah, not for exactly.
Yeah,
as they get older, as they get older. But we've like I said before, we have all these things telling women that it's okay to get older and be single or whatever. You can freeze your eggs. You make $100,000 a year and you'll be happy as a career woman. But we have statistics to show that 1 in 4 women is unhappy. They're on antidepressant medication. As a matter of fact, the more money a woman makes, the smaller her candidate pool of potential suitors, which we could talk about that. But in general, there's an agenda that if you lie to women, they're going to probably buy. And this is why so many men aren't honest with women, because when you lie and you tell unflattering truths, when you lie and you tell women comforting truths, they're more likely to supplicate to that. Versus if you tell her, hey, baby girl, I'm going to have multiple girls. I'm going to do what I want. It is what it is. Not only are people going to try to cancel you and call you misogynist, girls aren't going to fuck with you. They're going to shame you. They're going to attack you. They're going to say you got small dick energy, whatever it is like that. So going back to what you're saying, I agree with you 100% that men can rise up and make a woman naturally feminine. But what I'm saying is that we operate on probability, not possibilities. And possibilities work, but women get the benefit of being able to deal in possibilities, whereas men, we got to be fact-based and go on probabilities.
But I think women do too, and the probability of them achieving that standard that the Beyoncés and the Cardi B's are setting is next to zero, of being extremely high earners and being able to set the terms of their life and have a man be subservient to them. The probabilities of that is next to zero. Probably lower than what I'm saying of that to happen for women, because it's hard as a man, let alone as a woman. It's just it's very difficult.
But that's what they refer to every time we talk with them.
Yeah.
They always use, I want a power couple like Jay-Z and Beyonce.
That's got to age out at some point, though.
And look, I get what you're saying 100%. There is a place where you can find a woman that's going to submit to you when you level up. But here's the problem, right? The average guy, I'm sorry to say, probably will never get to that point where they're that high on the totem pole that a woman wants to submit.
And that's,
so I think it's very,
and that's cool. But here's the thing with Mike as well. Actually, this is this isn't just about a men and women thing. This is like just a philosophy I think that we have is that, and Mike does this too. We do this with Alpha Shred and we do this with workouts. He rather push too hard, and I would too. We'd rather push too hard and have it be too much for some people than to set the standard lower and have it be more applicable. We'll program, and this is the one, I don't like CrossFit, even though I've got the CrossFit certification. I don't love it as a training system for like getting the most people in shape without them getting hurt. But one thing I did love about that shit is in CrossFit gyms, when they build the workouts, they do not build the workout for the average individual. They build it for the best individual. Like whoever's the standard of the gym, that's who they build it for. And then everyone else has to kind of scale down. And hopefully that's like the admiration is there where you're looking towards that as some motivation to get to. You may never get to that point where you can do those things, but that's the standard. They set the standard based on the strongest and not based on the median or the average. Of course. I think that's a cool idea. And I think we do agree with pretty much everything you guys are saying.
Self-improvement is critical. I think the foundation between what we're all talking about is like men have to level up because female standards have went up. Period. Women in general want to date a superior, and since women are earning their own money, a lot of them have entered the workforce, and as a matter of fact, a lot of them are more educated than men. Their standards have went up along with it. So guys got to level up if they want an abundance of sexual access. But all we're saying is that level up, become the best man that you could be, but also date in a defensive perspective that, quite frankly, understand that modern day women are going to expect you to be traditional but absolve themselves of certain responsibilities. Now, is the possibility that a girl is going to be out there and submissive and be a dutiful girlfriend and a wife? Absolutely. But what I am saying is that based on the numbers, based on the divorce rates, the divorce initiation rates, child court, family court, etc., guys need to operate on probabilities and not possibilities. So we tell guys, on a balance of probabilities, Most girls can destroy you if they wanted to, especially when you got something to lose. So we teach guys to operate from a defensive standpoint when they date. I tell guys all the time, women can get mad at me. I say, when you date a girl, assume she belongs to the streets unless she proves to you otherwise. Facts. And the reason why I tell guys this is because a lot of guys have this Disney fairy tale in their head that girls are sugar and spice and everything nice and they're, goody two-shoes, whatever. Hell no. These girls are out here getting dick, banging a bunch of dudes, dating non-monogamously, banging more dudes in a semester than guys banging their whole life. And we have the studies to show that too, that women now are more promiscuous than ever before. And not only that, men are reporting the lowest stats of having sex versus other decades. Why is that? Well, we talk about it on the global sexual marketplace, which you could break that down, why so many guys are not getting sexual access. But I say all that to understand, to tell guys, this is the dating marketplace that you're in now. We're not here to complain about it. We're not here to cry about it. This is how you guys adapt, and here's the solution. You need to level up. You need to date with these girls and put the burden of performance on them. I'm tired of dudes trying to appease and supplicate to women and trying to impress girls. Fuck that shit. Men are the prize, not the women, because I know for a fact when a man deals with a woman, he's got to inherently bring far more value than she does. All she's got to do is be pretty and available. The man has to be taller than her, make money, be confident, be masculine, have all these other things. And women have a laundry list of requirements that they want on men. So I'm telling guys, hold yourself as you're a king, because at the end of the day, men are the leaders. And if a king marries a peasant, she turns into a queen. But a queen will never look a peasant's way. So therefore, you need to act accordingly and put yourself as the prize. The problem is that a lot of guys operate here and try to supplicate to women. And then on top of that, if they're not sexually experienced, which is why I said you need 50 girls, they're going to look at a girl, not be able to discern that she might not be a good mate for you long term because she was doing some extra shit before, and then they'll wife that girl up or they'll take her serious, and then that girl destroys him and, breaks his heart. So I tell guys, operate on defense, assume she's a hoe. Get mad at me if you want, ladies, but assume she's a hoe and let her prove to you otherwise that she should be kept around. And when you do that, the women are going to respect you more. They're going to understand they have a burden of performance on them for once. She's going to be chasing your validation, and that's how you want it. When the man has the leverage, the woman is going to stay happy. But when the woman has the leverage, she's like, oh, this is boring. I don't want to deal with this nigga no more. I'm higher status than him. So guys got to have the leverage. They got to look at themselves on the prize and let the girls know, yo, honestly, the burden of performance on you. I assume you're a hoe unless you prove to me you're worthy of a relationship. And when you operate like that, bang.
And look, just at your point as well, life is about choices, right? So we're just saying, for example, here's a solution to the problem of dating women in today's society. Take it or leave it. And at the same time, let's be real here. Everyone is not going to be successful. They're not going to want to level up. So we're saying, hey, if you want that option to level up, here it is. If you don't, we understand that. You can go over there. But at the same time, understand that dating in today's marketplace, let's be real here, it is not easy for guys. And no one talks about it other than us.
But let me say this too, though.
Yeah.
Go
ahead. I can't remember the figure, but it's something like 10% of the men are having sex with 90% of the women, right? So, and it probably was always like that. I don't know. But if you think about, you go back in history, men of great stature has always had concubines. Yeah. They've always had, and rightfully so. If you're going to spread your seed, it should be from a royal lineage or of a lineage that not going to be a burden on society, not a dude drop a seed and shit, good luck. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that. That's what it is. You can probably give somebody who just accepts that they're average all of the tactics in the world and nothing's going to work. You know what I'm saying? Especially if somebody wants to be average. I can't get that, you're special or whatever, or these guys are this or that. You know what I'm saying? People that don't aspire for anything. You know what I mean? So, because it's not about looks. It's not always about a man being taller and attractive and all of that shit. If a dude have a big enough bag, he has whoever he wants. Yeah, facts, you know what I'm saying? We see that shit all the time.
And clout.
Especially out here.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm that's cute. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's the real thing right there. You know what I mean? So, and I had an uncle. Yeah, he passed away, but he's old. He had young bad ones. And he was so rooted in reality, it was ridiculous. He's like, I don't even want them to make me their boyfriend. Keep your boyfriend.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm here. I'm what you need. He's what you want. You know what I'm saying? That was his whole thing. You know what I'm saying? Old dude. And I always told myself, if I'm 70 and single, trick daddy dollars. You know what I'm saying? I don't even want a relationship at that point. You know what I mean? But, but that's not the life that I want. You know what I mean? Right. I want to be married and all of that shit. You know what I'm saying? So you know, everybody's desires are different.
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
what I'm
yeah,
saying?
for sure.
And different parts of my life, I didn't want to be in a relationship, and I wasn't, and I just did whatever I wanted to do, you know. So, but now where I'm at in my life now, it's like it's not realistic for me to just date around. Because my life, we're in big business now, like,
course,
you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, and that's where the energy is, the focus. I anybody that's in my life, I gotta tell them, like, look, you're gonna be like third or fourth priority. You're way down the list,
right?
As they should be.
Just letting you know.
We always say girls
you know
should be like 10th on the list.
Yeah.
So with that, it would be not advantageous to me to be dealing with a bunch of chicks.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, where am I getting this time at?
Yeah.
I don't have time for one. You know what I mean? So, and I love work. I love what we do. And I got children that I'm raising. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, there are a lot of women who are left with kids by themselves. Mm-hmm. I'm not with my kid's mother, but I'm here. You know what I'm saying? My boys live with me. You know what I mean? So
we saw them, very good, upstanding guys.
Yeah. Thanks, bro. So everybody's built different. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like one that takes on whatever responsibility I have. I take it on the chin. You know what I mean? And I handle it. You know what I mean? And still try to manage having me a good life outside of the people that I got to take care of. You know what I mean? See, I've always been like the protector of everybody in my circle. Men and women, you know what I'm saying? Mm. So even when I was in the streets, like, I was on some boss shit. Somebody disrespect one of my guys, and I would hop out on the front line, which was silly. But that's just who I am. I'm the general. I'm a leader, right? Mm-hmm. So and I always want to be the ultimate example of whatever I'm representing at the time. So, and I've always been that guy in different facets of my life. Excuse me. So yeah. But where I am now, it's like, you know, I've done it. I've done everything. You know what I'm saying? I've had my fair share of, you know, of probably a little bit more than 50. You know what I'm saying? Maybe a little bit more than 50. You know,
51.
But I don't know. But look, when I was in college, this is crazy. So I stayed in a dorm. Shout out to ASU. Anybody ever been at ASU or went to ASU? I stayed at Manzanita. It was the most lit dormitory.
Man.
Yeah,
however,
Arizona, man.
However, it was a culture shock to me. I was like, yo, y'all are fucking crazy. Yeah. So I got off the dorm and had an apartment. And my boy Lou came out for like a week, stayed with me. And every day, I had just a different girl at the house, right? And he was like, what? Like, how? I'm like, you don't do this? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So this is pre-money, pre-muscles.
Yeah.
Huh? Young Rashid, you know what I'm saying? But you know,
you're like a natural almost, like you were just go with the women before, and like what we do is like, so because like for us, right, like I struggled with women early on. I was a late bloomer,
right?
So I guess our message resonates with a lot of guys because we had to like figure it out.
Yeah.
And since we're like, guys, we get it. We were in your shoes. We weren't dealing with chicks when we were younger. You know, I used to play video games and play sports and stuff, and that kept me away from girls and doing all the stupid stuff.
Call of Duty.
But then eventually I was able to figure it out and learn this stuff. And I've done a lot of, studying and reading on how men and women operate, intersexual dynamics, the hardwiring between us. And, what I've done is I've taken like that biological scientific stuff and I've like put it into application in my dating life now. And then we talk about it on the podcast, like, hey, this is why you want to do this when you deal with girls versus doing what conventional society told you to do this, because this is actually repulsive to women, even though they tell you bring her some flowers and be a gentleman, but you don't want to do that, like little stuff like that. But a lot of guys struggle because the thing is, and this is kind of where the RP stems from, is that basically, and we apply it to intersexual dynamics. We don't typically when we use it, we're referring to intersexual dynamics, the relations between men and women. The reality is what men have been told about women, that they're sugar and spice and everything nice, and put them on a pedestal and they're good girls, quite frankly, is a lie. And if anything, I'm glad that social media is out here. I'm glad that the internet's out here, because a lot of these women are exposing themselves for how they really operate. And we don't have a problem with women. We don't hate women, anything. We just want guys to be educated and know that these girls are out here fucking. They're out here dating a lot of dudes. They're out here basically doing what they want to do, which is fine. But you need to get this Disney fairy tale of how women operate or how you think they should operate or what your parents told you in the past out of your mind and adapt to 2021 and how things are now. Yeah. And what you've been told is a lie. Being a nice guy doesn't work. Being a nice guy is going to get you left in the friend zone. You're not going to get the sexual access. And so many guys think, let me take this backdoor route. Let me be nice. Let me be polite. Let me be
I'll be your friend.
What society has told me to be, a good guy. But what happens when you end up being a good guy? You get left on scene. You get curved. You don't get boxed. Meanwhile, Chad and Tyrone, the dudes that she complains about, I hate fuckboys. She's sucking their dick in the back. Yep. And what we're telling guys is, yo, stop being a nice guy. What society told you is a lie about women, and you need to start learning the uncomfortable truths. But the thing is that when you put this out there, that you got to ignore him. You got to leave him on scene sometimes. You got to not be available. You have to take her on cheap dates in the beginning. You need to push for sex as quickly as possible. These are unflattering things about female nature that women don't typically want you to know. You know what I'm saying? They're going to call you're a misogynist for saying this type of information. But hey, I understand that the things that make me arousing to you are completely different from what society tells men. They tell them to be a nice guy, and that doesn't work. We had a girl on our show, hand in man. What do you like in a guy? What turns you on? I want a guy that's funny. Really? Okay. So tell us about how it was like when you were out with the funny guy. She took this man out on multiple dates.
5 dates, I think.
And didn't smash him. And she has the nerve to tell us, that's what turns me on. No, baby girl. That's what you like. You like the fact that he gave you non-sexual attention. You like the fact that he took you out on multiple dates. You like the fact that he made you laugh. But you didn't respect him to a point that he aroused you, and you did what I mentioned before. Grow game. Let me leverage sex for more time, attention, resources, in this case, more dates. And what happens? The guy loses. So what we're doing is we're demystifying that, that female veil, that female nature, them playing the games. Yeah. And we're teaching guys, this is how you play the game too. And I tell it too. We got kicked off TikTok for me saying this, but I'm going to say it. Men need to treat women like expendable commodities. I'm going to say that again. I don't care what nobody says. You got to treat women like expendable commodities. Why? Because women treat men like expendable commodities. Women flake on dates. They leave dudes on scene. They be curving dudes left and right. So what I'm saying is, if you want to fight back in this competitive dating marketplace, which quite frankly favors women and not men, because they have crazy abundance nowadays, you need to date like women and treat them expendable too. You can't be a gentleman. As a matter of fact, being a gentleman is like bringing a knife to a bazooka fight with these chicks. So guys got to play the same game women play, and they need to bring a bazooka to this fight as well and play the same games that they do. It's just that when you give men this advice, you're toxic, you're insecure, small dick energy. No, I just know the game, and I'm arming my guys with the same stuff that you guys have. We're playing it back with you.
Yeah, look.
What's both of you guys? What's your desire with the opposite sex? Is it marriage, or is it just like, fuck it, I want to be a playboy? What do y'all want to? What do y'all see yourselves like? What's the end game?
It's funny because like Myron was saying earlier, I was like a late bloomer. So for me, it was kind of like, okay, how do I become what women want? So I never thought to myself, what do I really want? It's about what they want, right? So when it came to America, like I said before, I didn't date for like a whole year. But I understood, hey, you know what? I need to level up myself to become, who I want to be. But at the same time, this is why I was able to date 3 girls a day. I did that for like a whole year. 3 girls a day.
You date 3 girls a day?
This is back when I was broke, right?
I was you had to cut that back. We're like, bro, we got.
Yeah,
I'm an average guy. So I'm not, if I can do this shit, and I fucking stutter, bro. If I can do this shit, why the fuck can't you do this shit? But at the same time, I understood, hey, you know what? If I just be smooth and I understand play to their emotions, I can get what I want. But at the same time, it's like, okay, how do I get past this level, master this part of my life, and get on to business now? Because business is very important. My foundation is very important. But at the same time, it's like most guys, they struggle with this part of their lifestyle where, hey, you know what? I can't go get girls continuously, so this is taking a burden on my life. I'm just saying, me personally, I'm at a point now where I understand, look, I'm the average guy becoming someone of value, but I take myself out of the equation and say, hey, the average guy that I was there before, how does he feel about the current dating market? I put myself in his shoes again, and I say, hey, you know what? I break it down. This is how you get into the dating world. This is how you maneuver it and get what you want. Me personally now, though, what I want is that I want a chick that's going to give me peace. She's going to start my business and help me with my goals and my passion. But at the same time, in today's marketplace, girls are really about themselves. So you have to become high value enough so that she says, you know what? He's worth the investment to submit to, and then she'll submit to you.
I don't see nothing wrong with that, but I feel like they should be about themselves until they have that, what you're talking about becoming. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because my daughter better not bring nobody average
Facts.
Through the door. You know what I'm saying? I better be blown away like, I like this guy.
If I had a daughter,
you know what I'm saying?
I would teach her to definitely date someone of value, not no bum on the street, 100%.
Yeah, so I think that's is normal. I honestly think shit is normal. there's people that's going to be left out in the cold. It's survival of the fit.
For sure.
We're still animals.
Yeah.
People who act like everything's fair. It's not.
There's a reason why
life is not fair.
It's not.
There's
You
a
know what
reason
I'm
why only 40% of men since the beginning of time have procreated with women. You know what I'm saying? Like versus like 99% of women have procreated. Like, you know, the Pareto principle is real. And I would say, like, in today's day and age, an even smaller percentage of men have sexual access. And, you know, we have the studies to show that, like, younger men are reporting the lowest levels of sexual activity versus the women haven't changed. Well, why is that? Well, because women's dating standards have went up as they've made more money. We have Instagram now. Instagram is the biggest dating app in the world. And it's, like, globalized the dating marketplace as well, which we can talk about
geography.
that, too. But, yeah, exactly. So, I guess to answer your question from before, what I would do is I would have multiple girls. I would 100%, it would be non-monogamous because I look at it like, you know, why should I be monogamous when I've fought so hard to get to a certain point where I can have an abundance with women? And to be honest, when you have multiple women always get in line when you have other women in line. It's like pre-selection is real. And when you have other girls, women behave way better. They're more feminine. They're more submissive. And it's just like human nature in general. When your spot is replaceable, you're going to do the best job. But with women, it's even more needed because as the leader, you almost have to assert your dominance and your authority at all times that she's replaceable. And you can only do that, unfortunately, when you have other women around.
When you say other women, just girlfriends, just homies?
It'll be multiple wives.
Multiple wives?
Yeah. I grew up in a Muslim household, so like, you know, polygamy is like a thing. But yeah, it will be multiple wives for sure because it's just, I've noticed that women operate better and they respect you more and everything like that when they know that you have other women, whether it's through your actions of you just having an abundance mindset, like not investing too much, or when they straight up just see you with other girls, you know?
Yeah, a guy's most powerful weapon is having an abundance mindset.
Yeah, that's the only thing you can do.
You don't tolerate bad behavior. And also you say, hey, you know what? If Jackie doesn't want to do it, Susie will. At that point, you can walk away. A man's strongest point is to walk away. Most guys can't walk away because they're depending on the girl. That's their only way to get sex. And I understand that 100%. But at the same time, here's a choice. If you want to have that abundance mindset, here's how you do it. We teach on our podcast all the time how to become high value. And at that point, now you have options to say, hey, you know what? Susie doesn't want to have fun, whatever. That's cool. You can go home. Jackie will. That, to me, is true power because at that point, your dating pool is way bigger. And secondly, now you can focus on other shit because think about this, right? What's guys' main problem for dating? Sourcing girls. Instagram is one of the biggest dating platforms in the world now, right? And we just say it all the time. Hey, if you want to be marketable to girls as well, get on social media. Have a good page. Have a good lifestyle. So they come
marketing
to
the girls. That's crazy.
Yeah, because
we'll go for it.
We apply business marketing to dating marketing. And
I guess so. Listen, I don't relate because I haven't been in those pair of shoes. I'm not saying it's not real. It's just interesting hearing it. You know what I'm saying?
It's tough, man.
My perspective is like I've had such an abundance with women. I don't want an abundance no more. I want one.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So and I got it. You know what I mean? So and I'm happy with it. So but yeah, it got to where I'm tired of this shit. Like this is whack. You know what I'm saying? When you experience like so much of a certain thing, sometimes you're like, all right, what didn't I have?
Yeah.
Oh, I never had that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's pretty much where I've gotten to, and I've been there for a couple years. You know what I mean? So.
See, yeah. I can relate to you because, like, for me, I've had a lot. That's why I'm so calm and cool because, bro, my dating issues are solved. Like, I'm able to source girls from every platform, online dating apps, Instagram, everywhere. So I don't have a problem getting girls. My thing is, most guys don't have that solved already.
Yeah.
So I have to say, hey, you know what? I'm not those guys anymore. How do I feel in this current situation? How do I help those guys figure things out? And that is dumbing myself down, going to the marketplace and saying, hey, you know what? This works, that doesn't work. And for example, I'll have girls come to my crib, whatever. We'll talk, and I'll say, hey, I'm curious. Show me your DMs real quick. I want to see how many DMs you get. If you ever saw girls' DMs or her dating app messages, bro, constant validation 24/7. That's why they're so entitled, and I get it. It makes sense. But the average guy does not have that.
You know what, though?
Yeah.
I think if you elevate the type of women you're dealing with, because most girls, I see that too, but they're like, fuck these guys. Like, they're so disgusted by how easy, like, guys are just, especially with money. Like, you guys talk about leading with money, corny. But it's such a turnoff to most, to dope chicks. They're like, this motherfucker.
But
like,
I'll say this. I'll play devil's advocate.
Yeah.
What that's done is that's rotted a lot of them. And I'll explain what I mean by that. So I did an experiment, right? I tell the story all the time. So I did an experiment a year ago. I was releasing a dating app with a business partner. A dating course, teaching guys how to use like Tinder, Bumble, whatever, leveraging dating apps to get girls. So before we released the product, I had done split tests. I had a couple of phones. I was using dating apps. I was using a boost on them. I was using a new profile here, an older profile here, doing all kinds of tests, right? Just using different geographic limits, whatever. So I boosted all the profiles to see how they do. I turned the phones off for 24 hours. And then next day, turn the phones on, look at the messages. And I saw all these notifications. And I was like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm getting that attention. Then it hit me. Imagine getting this every single day for nothing more than the fact that you're an attractive woman. It would make you a piece of fucking shit. Because I thought about it in my head. Like, if you got this attention and validation every single day, you would have zero incentive to improve. And as a matter of fact, it would make you downright not respect the opposite gender anymore, because they're freely giving you their attention. They're willing to fly you out. They're willing to pay you for feet pictures. They're willing to pay you for booty. They're willing to pay you for all kinds of things. So this is why so many modern day women don't respect many men. It's because they're constantly getting attention. They're constantly getting validation. They're constantly getting reaffirmed regardless of how poorly they behave. This is why I always say, when you lie, women buy. You know what I'm saying? So if you got validated every single day for nothing more than the fact that you're attractive, you would be useless. You would be a horrible person. So going back to what you're saying about girls getting attention on the internet, yes, they might be repulsed by these guys because they're freely willing to give their resources or whatever to the women, but that doesn't change the fact that now a lot of these women have overinflated sense of egos. They think they're better than most guys. And then when they come on our podcast and we ask them, what do you want in a man? All of them describe a man that's well above average, if not a top 10%er. Meanwhile, she's 200 pounds at 5'4". Female entitlement is at an all-time high. Yeah. People can get mad at me about it, but it is what it is.
But that particular situation is hilarious to me. For a woman to come built like a linebacker, shout out to Uncle Kev, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Wanting the cream of the crop. Yeah. It's like, word. But that's I'm like, word, son. But here's the thing. Yeah, go ahead. It's not happening. You know what I'm saying? Just like, all right, let's say,
it's never happened.
It's not going to happen. Let's say all of these fucking DMs, all of this validation, right? Yeah. It's not who she wanted to be. You know what I'm saying? Just like I'm sure all of those notifications that when you turned the phones off, how many of them were like ones that you would like really fuck with though? You know what I'm saying?
But here's the thing though. Here's the difference. With the women, right? For a man, even if you get all this attention, this validation, you still got to put in the work and still seal the deal. With these women, they just exist.
What does that mean though? We're talking about just trying to smash.
Yeah. So like we look at dating as kind of like a sales funnel, right? So like you got your online dating, you got Instagram, you got cold approach, whether it's day and night, you got social circle game. You're using all these avenues to source women. Yeah. Once you get these girls into your sales funnel, now it's about texting them and or DMing them, whatever it is, to set up a date, and then you get them on a date. If they don't flake, then from there you try to get them to bang you on the first date.
Let me give you a shortcut.
It's like a whole process.
Let me give you a shortcut.
Versus for girls, they
Let
just
me give
exist.
the dating app man some dating tips. Okay. Right?
Yeah.
To not have to put in all of that work. When I was on the market, you know, meet somebody online, whatever, we try whatever, it's a little vibe, like, all right, yo, we should hang out. We vibing, whatever, right? Okay. But I'm real busy. I mean, I'll be done tonight or whenever we set up around 10. You can come to the crib. That's it. There's no dating. If I don't take like that kind of shit serious, so I'm not taking you on a date when I was out there like that. Me personally, we're not going on a date.
But see,
only somebody that I really liked, that I really wanted to go out and be seen with me and all that shit. Other than that, it's like, nah. And that will filter whoever ain't with my program out off top. So 10 o'clock, I'm free at 10. I'm free at 11. Literally. I'm like, that's easy work.
Yeah, you could get girls straight to your crib, but you're going to decrease your conversion rate too.
Nah. That's not true, bro. That's not true. But conversion rate, right? So I would much rather, first of all, I know what you're talking about because I know people that just shoot at everything, right? Yeah. Get turned down 19 times and get one. I'm like, what the fuck that, right? I don't like rejection, so I'm not doing that, right? So, but my shit was very efficient. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have this like, you know, it wasn't no, it was never like turn down. Oh, this one. Nah, it was like, it was just easy work. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not taking nobody out that I'm not really trying to fuck with like that. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Here's the thing, right, Mike? Once again, though, the average guy can't do that. Or if they do it, how often can they do it? So, for example, right? Like, I have a vlog channel, Fresh Prince CEO, right? and I take girls on dates, right? Back in the day, I never recorded it, but I started doing it recently for the fans, right?
You take them out on dates on the channel?
Yeah, on the channel.
Okay.
The vlog channel, right? And it's funny because some of these women, bro, they're married, bro, or they have boyfriends. I didn't even know until after. And what happens is, yes, I get what you said earlier about they might not want to respond to those DMs or whatever, but that guy that she's with messes up, or, you know, she's feeling like sad or depressed, whatever, she's going to say, hey, you know what? This guy has a lifestyle, a better option. I'm going to go over there. Even on dating apps, most of these girls, bro, like real talk, yet most guys on there, they have to really like and really want to be with. So I'm just saying, like, for you personally, like, I get why you're able to bring them to your house and, you know, make it happen. But most guys, they can't do that.
They can't.
I'm just saying, like, look.
Because the guys we're talking about probably don't even have their own house. They probably live with people. They're in a situation where they shouldn't be. And listen, my position on this is real. Like, there's friends of mine, like young guys, wherever I'm at, it's a lot of guys that come to me for advice, like in person, right? Yeah. And I'll you know, ask questions, try to see what their situation is like, so I can give real actual shit. And one of my guys, back when I first met him a couple years ago, you know, we just small talking, and I'm just gathering data. And, you know, he lived with his homie that played football. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I was like, that's what's up. There's a lot of girls out here. He's like, yeah. I said, you probably be smashing them on. He's like, oh, yeah, bro. I said, at the crib? He's like, yeah. I said, those are his chicks. You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't take a girl to another man's house. Like, just get your shit together and get you a crib.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
Of course.
So
go ahead. Sorry.
No. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's like, that's my real beliefs, right? I don't, even when I was younger, if I didn't have my shit together, people don't see me. I'm out hustling. I'm out trying to get the bag. You know what I mean? When I got it, then I come out. You see Mike. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna be out there when my shit is raggedy. You know what I mean? And that's the problem. A lot of dudes is out there when their shit is raggedy. You know what I mean? And it's like, all right, it's gonna stay raggedy because maybe you gotta patch it up a little bit. You out putting it all out there, whatever, and then you back to square one.
I agree, bro. I feel like most guys should say, you know what? Let me fix myself first, then get to dating girls, because it's a luxury, not a priority. But at the same time, let's be honest here. Most guys are not going to do that. They're going to go out.
But is that okay, though? Is that right?
Bro, I think, personally, bro,
whatever you do is right.
You fuck a bad bitch, what's next? You're still broke, right? 100%. But at the same time, they're going to do what they do. So I'm just saying, look, you got two options. Stay on that road, have fun doing that, or level up, become the person you want to become, and then get all the variety that you want.
Now going back to Instagram,
some of these people don't want to level up.
That's true.
Yeah, some guys don't.
You're right.
It's you know what I mean.
Yeah. Going back to
not to cut you off, but and that really fucks, because look, I don't give a fuck what nobody say. Like, we can say females is fucked up, this and the third, but a lot of times we fucking them up. You know what I'm saying? I know I have in the past. You know what I'm saying? I know I've driven girls crazy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's not like we're like, I've never been in a relationship when the girl is setting the tone. It's always me. It's always a guy. Like, it's not a real thing. And if it's a relationship with a girl setting the tone, then yeah, that guy's masculinity is diminished, is not null and void, because that's not a real thing, right? So I don't relate to that. You know what I'm saying? I've never been in a situation to where a girl is just driving me fucking crazy. And no, I've been in a relationship where I really didn't understand some shit. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with this girl? You know what I'm saying? But you get out of it. It's decisions. You know what I'm saying? Just like you was talking about, she wants the protection and all of the things that comes with a masculine man, but don't want to make me a sandwich. If you can't do certain things for me, I'm out of here. Like, I had a situation one time. I met a girl in Australia, and gorgeous, right? And you know, Australia is incredible. You know what I'm saying?
Women are beautiful.
Yeah. So we plan for her to come out. No, you know, we're not a thing. We're just gonna have fun. Whatever happens, happens, right? She would cook food for herself. You know what I'm saying? I thought that was weird. She wouldn't clean shit. You know what I'm saying? And I just got turned off, right? And she, you know, and when I'm turned off, I'm just not talking much. I'm kind of quiet. And she's like, "Yo, you need to." I'm like, "Don't. All right, just chill out. You know, you need to give me." I'm like, I'm asking you, just chill out. I said, okay, let me show you something. I got my phone. I said, you're pushing me in a corner. So look, it's a lot of yous. It's a lot of this. Just beautiful, gorgeous. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna find another me. It's rare. You know what I'm saying?
I say men are the price.
So I get it. You know what I'm saying? So, but I made a decision to like, look, get out. I'm out of here. You know what I'm saying? You don't just sit in it and like try to work it out in a situation like that where the little basic things that should come with a male-female dynamic is not being met. You know what I'm saying? I just in the situation. You know what I mean?
Okay, so you guys were talking earlier about like a girl is on Instagram, she might not necessarily get that guy or whatever. So yeah. So like, but
hold on, just so everyone remembers, the linebacker, the 5'4", 200 girl, getting Mike.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. So like, so I'll bring it back. So like, yeah, girls that are average or below average getting men and whatever. That's true. But here's the thing. Here's the problem with, and we know this from on our podcast. You guys can see we've interviewed hundreds of girls. Even though they're not going to get that guy necessarily in a relationship,
they're going to smash.
They're still going to fuck that guy and think that their value is on that man's level. Because we've had many girls.
How are they going to fuck that guy?
Because men will fuck anything.
Because I've sent him away.
Yeah, but here's the thing. A lot of guys won't though. Like a lot of guys will get some strange, whatever it is. They'll smash a girl that's average or not the highest girl. And the thing is that average girls have access to so many men that they'll smash these dudes, a guy that's above average or a high value man, maybe for a night or whatever, and they peg their value.
You think they're getting anything out of that? Or getting fucked?
Well, I'll explain.
Okay.
So they'll smash this dude and they'll think, okay, this is the caliber of man that I can attract. But the problem is that women conflate them banging dudes with their relationship market value, which is two different things. Just because dudes are in your DMs or whatever doesn't necessarily mean that you're, how do I say this, a woman that's worthy of a high value man. Because the thing is this, going back with feminism, right? And women, modern day women, they like to play by male rules when it suits them, but then they also like to play with female rules when it suits them. And this is an example of that. A lot of girls will say, well, I got a bunch of dudes in my DMs. I get access to high value men all the time. But then I always use the metric, well, listen, baby girl, it don't operate like that. You don't win until you get a ring and commitment from a man that you don't like to hold L's. I say it all the time. Women want to be able to always say, I'm a winner to some degree. They want participation trophies. A female only wins when she gets a guy. A high female game is this. Can you attract a high caliber man and more importantly, retain him with some kind of long-term relationship? Men game is how many baddies can you get? And if you want to be non-monogamous, that's cool. If you want to be monogamous, that's cool. But you have that choice. A lot of guys are monogamous by necessity. Yep. But if you're monogamous by choice and you have an abundance of attractive women that want you, then you win as a man. The problem is that women want to always switch the narrative and use the male standard because it's easier to get there and say, I got a bunch of dudes in my DM. No, baby girl, you play the game on easy mode. Therefore, you're not going to get easy mode. You're not going to get hard mode benefits when you play the game on easy mode because you just existing, you get male sexual access. But here's the thing. Once women get this validation on Instagram, whatever, they think my value is high because I got these blue checkmark dudes hitting me up, blah, blah, blah. But what she doesn't realize is, no, bitch, you're average. These guys are hitting you up for sex. They don't want to commit to you, but they think and conflate. Oh, well, they're hitting me up. That means I'm a higher status girl. I'm a bad bitch. No, you ain't. He's just trying to get his nut off. But a lot of girls don't know that because women are indoctrinated to think that they can be men and they can run around and smash everything and their value is still going to be high like a man. No. And I've had this debate with many girls on the podcast. Well, why is it okay for you to run around and smash a bunch of girls, but it's not okay for me to smash dudes? I got high value men in my DMs. It's because you don't live the same reality that we do as men. Men must create their value, whereas women must preserve their value. And they don't get it that men have to become self-made millionaires, whereas their trust fund babies with $1 million given to them, we don't play on the same playing field. We don't play by the same rules. So that's what I'm saying. Like, women like to play by the rules that men have when it suits them, but they want to play by the female rules when it suits them. That's why so many average women think that they're capable of getting a high-value man because they might smash these high-value guys, but they can't keep them around.
All right, I feel you, bro. But I've seen the flip side. So when someone feels like they can't have something, fuck that. That's gross. I wouldn't like that motherfucker anyway. Dudes or fuck that bitch. I ain't like her anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I remember Shade Room, they just posted me up on some smasher pass shit for girls though, right? And listen, I've been me all my whole life. I have zero problems getting girls. You know what I'm saying? You should have seen only the unattractive girls. That's nasty. That's gross. You know what I mean? I feel like, you're literally projecting what you feel like. Reality is you can't have that guy. So fuck that guy.
They really be thinking they can get him though, bro.
Nah, bro.
That's what I'm
bro.
That's the scary part. Like
no.
I'm telling you, man. Average girls really think like we be having them on our show, bro. They be dead serious looking us in the eye and say, "I deserve a high value man."
That's no, bro. So that's like in that setting, right?
Yeah.
Motherfuckers is not being honest. I'm sure you have a lot of guys on there that ain't honest either. Matter of fact, I've seen guys on there on your show that I'm like, my nigga, nah, bro, you're not that guy. You know what I'm saying? So you know damn well a lot of these females is project. They're trying to like.
They're putting their dreams and hopes.
They're telling you who they want to be, but that's not who they know goddamn well in their real life. They're not moving around like that because look, if you moving around like that, you're seen with high value men. You know what I'm saying? Or you've been with, and when I say been with, people know that you've been with, not you telling people. Not that you just got smashed by somebody. You know what I'm saying?
Well, hold on though. We're actually in the dating market right now, and we talk to guys all the time, high value, low value. And we're seeing they go to their house, smash, and then leave. So they don't go in public. This is happening behind the scenes.
Yeah, but that don't count. Like that.
But they count it though. That's what I'm saying. Like
that's cool. That's cool.
Hold on. They get a taste of it, and they say, "Oh, you know what? Fuck this shit. All the other guys are invisible to me. I don't want these guys now." And that's where this energy is coming from. They're getting a piece of it and say, "Oh shit."
Yeah, man.
But what's the negative? What's the negative? But what's bad about that?
Well, here's the thing.
You want your guys to smash chicks, right?
Yeah. But what I'm saying, no. What's happened is this.
Yeah.
So with Instagram and the online dating, whatever, since women have access to these higher status men and they're having sex with them or they're maybe getting invited to certain social situations, parties, whatever it is, their perceived value goes up with it. If I'm able to rub elbows with Tyga at a pool party, why am I going to talk to this average dude? And what happens is we don't have a problem with it. It is what it is. Like we understand that there's a game, you got to play it. But what's happened is that so many modern day women are delusional of where their actual value goes. They think because I'm able to rub elbows with certain caliber of men, I deserve these types of men. And here's the other thing too. Society propagates this. Society tells women what? Don't settle for less. Know your worth. Never settle. What happens? More and more women are becoming single.
Yep.
They estimate by 2030, over 50% of young women are going to be single. Why is that? Because women, and we bring them on our podcast and they talk about it, most average women don't want an average man. And on top of that, they're taught to not settle and want the best for themselves. And society reaffirms it because they're getting the validation on the internet. They're getting invited to certain parties. They're rubbing elbows with certain types of men. They're probably having sex with these men casually, whatever it is. So a lot of men are invisible to most women.
But an average man, let's be like realistic.
Yeah, sure.
Average woman is not gonna be with an average man.
No, for
right?
sure.
She gotta shoot up. You know what I'm saying?
Of course. But
and
that's what
we
we're saying,
typically
though.
shoot down.
But the point I'm trying to make is that.
Wait. What's average? Like what's the parameters? What are we basing this off of?
Okay, so if a dude, first and foremost, my argument isn't saying that average women should be dating average men. I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is that we just look at the market and we give an analysis. The analysis that we've learned from talking to the men and the women is that average women want a man that's pretty much above average, if not higher tier. And this, there's a bunch of reasons for that. I discussed Instagram, social media, everything like that, constant validation.
But can we agree that that's pretty normal?
Not as normal as it used to be.
Because I used to think just like that until I started hanging around these celebrities, these YouTubers, these TikTokers. I'm like, bro, I would never smash that girl. But guess what? Those are the only girls that want to smash and throwing themselves to the guy. It's late night. Fuck it. Let's just go do it. And then they feel like, oh shit, I just smashed so-and-so. I'm a hot bitch. This is what I deserve. That's the problem right there.
But maybe it's who you hanging out with. You know what I'm saying? People doing on some low level energy or low level frequency, because quality people want quality people around, even if they're a tier below them. You know what I'm saying?
But a smash is a smash though.
Yeah, for sex,
let's be real here, right?
Not to me.
I can call some names right now, but I won't do it.
Yeah.
Trust me when they say they're smashing some bums, bro. I'm like, bro, I would never. But think to them is I'm just busting.
I hear about that too.
Yeah.
And it's,
like the thing is, the difference is that higher status men don't have the same filters and.
But what makes
that
them
women
higher
do.
status though?
Guys that have money, guys that have clout, whatever.
But
like
is that
just
it?
get a taste.
Is that all we're basing it off of?
Well, here's the thing. That's what the women base. Like the women base.
Is that what the good women? Is that what quality, intelligent women are basing it off of? Because not all women are the same, and not all women are just super emotional and just blue check means something to them.
But
you know what I'm saying?
But the majority,
dope women, like women that I'm attracted to, don't give a fuck about like. It's harder for me, you know what I'm saying? Because they're not into, they assume that I'm just smashing everything. And that's my real life. Because I don't deal with the regulars, you know what I'm saying? I'm on some Michelle Obama shit, you know what I'm saying? So
but you're dealing with a small minority women then.
Yeah.
Like
I am.
Girls,
I am, but I'm all right with
we're
that.
We're talking about like a balance of probabilities, like how a lot of girls think. Like once they deal with a certain status of man, then you look at their Instagram, they look at their social media, they're getting this constant validation from men that are higher tier from them. They think, well, I should be getting this kind of guy.
And look,
You know what I'm
Mike, you're
saying?
different, bro. Most guys, they don't give a fuck. Hey, she's coming to me this easy.
Yeah, you got filters.
Come in the tour bus. Let's
And
get it on.
I tell women the same shit. Like I be on Clubhouse and they be like, yeah, they be complaining about the dudes, like just the most unruly shit. I'm like, well, where you hanging out? Where you meeting these dudes?
And she
at?
picked
Like,
them.
You picked them.
She picks them.
What are you doing? Like, it's like, to me, it's common sense.
Yeah.
If you want a better dating situation, be around different people.
Yeah.
Elevate your social situation.
But they go off
you know what I'm saying?
emotion. They like how the guy makes them feel,
Feel.
even though he's a terrible counterpart for some kind of relationship.
Because they know, you can tell when a motherfucker, this motherfucker ain't going to be
look,
around. You know what I'm saying?
We've dated women, lawyers, doctors, even fucking judges. And the funny part is that, like, yes, they have certain parameters that make them a little bit different than most girls, but the software is still the same. Because think about this, right? I can wait 2-3 days to smash you, vet you, whatever. They have their parameters. But was it worth it? Not really. Because all these masculine traits and all that stuff. So I'm just saying, most guys, they don't put up with that shit. They'll take whatever comes their way.
Y'all had a good question though. What was it about? There was something Mike was asking us about. Something with where does this come from? Like with the women being entitled or average men. Define average person, right?
Oh, yeah. In my perspective, an average woman doesn't get with an average man.
Yeah.
An average woman shoots a little bit higher. You know what I'm saying?
In today's day and age, I would argue that especially now when they make their own money.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you take a guy, the average man in the United States is about 5'9", and the average earning is somewhere between $42,500 to $50,000 a year. Most girls are not gonna want that.
What?
They're gonna most girls are gonna they're gonna say like
But
no,
that's
they
the
don't want
reality
that.
of most people.
Yeah.
That's what you make.
On
know
the
what I'm
show, they
saying?
say 6 figures minimum. That's what most girls say they want.
Yeah.
And that's,
They don't even. It's
They don't
interesting
know.
because they don't even know what 6 figures
They
look
don't
like.
know.
Facts. That's
But
the
they
funny
see-
part.
But
Yeah.
they see the lifestyle though. That's what they see.
Yeah,
So-
and here's the other funny part. We ask them, do you know what
They see
percentage
a
of men
fabricated lifestyle, probably.
And this, you want to know how we know women don't see 90% of men? We ask, what do you want in a man? $100,000 a year, at least 6 feet tall. I want to be confident, whatever, ambitious. All right, cool. Do you know what percentage of men are over 6 feet tall? Oh, like 70%? Okay, do you know what percentage of men make $100,000 a year? Like 80%? And I'm like, yo, only about 14% of men are 6 feet tall or above, and only about 10% of Americans in general make $100,000 a year. But here's the thing. This proves my point. And then another question we like to ask is, what percentage of men do you think are sexually active with women? They're like 80%, 90%. When reality, it's more like 10 to 20% of dudes are smashing like most of the girls. So
and do you know why they say that? That's the
most
point-
dudes
that's
are
the-
invisible. That's the key.
That's their point of origin. They only date high-level guys. So the rest of the guys are invisible to them, and that's the point of
Let
origin.
me give some statistics. Me and my sons we go through all of this shit.
yeah,
right?
sure.
So, all right, this is from 2018. It takes a while for them to calculate numbers accurately.
Of course, the Census Bureau.
So 2018 is the most recent and accurate stuff we have. Whew, damn. All right. So the latest data from the EPI show that in 2018, annual wages for the top 1% reached $737,697. This is the country, not just this ain't Cali, right?
Okay.
Up just 0.2% compared to 2017. How much do you need to earn? Oh, their question was how much to be a 1%. Right?
Oh, I thought
okay.
it was $450 per year. Puts you in the top 1%.
Maybe this
of
is
earners in the United
California.
States.
Maybe this is
That's gotta be
California.
California.
Yeah, this is California. A hefty 2.8 million, 2.8 08104, which is less than a 2.824 you would have needed to earn in 2017. Wages for the bottom 90% rose more than 1.4%. Guess what that shit is?
What?
90%. $37,574 a year. Right? So the top 0.1, this is not one, this is the 0.1 is $2.8 million a year. Top 1%, $737,000 a year. Top 5%, $309,000 a year. Top 10% of earners, $158,000 a year. But I'm sorry.
No.
We was looking at like, so it's like,
Yeah, because the USA Today is saying 538K puts you in the top 1%. So I guess it's a little different. But
different.
As far as like 100%, 100 grand a year or more, 100K, 6 figures, 100,000 or more, it's about 10% of the U.S. population makes that. And then about 15% or so, 14 to 15% is 6 feet tall or above for men.
all right. So I just did a quick search again for California. It's just a little bit different. Oh, 2020. 659,000. California is high.
Yeah, California's gonna be higher than everybody else. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks.
And then for the top 5%, yeah, you gotta have your shit together. But like a lot of people, they talk, they don't know. Yeah.
But the point is that like when you ask a woman what does she want in men or what they typically dare what they want, it's a higher it's a guy that's like well above average. And the craziest part is when I ask them what percentage of men do you think actually meet this criteria, they say 50, 60, 70, 80% of men, which goes to show that they're dealing just off of their frame of reference, thinking that it's so many men. They're dealing with a small percentage of men, but they're attributing and thinking this is how most men
all
are.
Men are, yeah.
But that's just their reality because most guys, we say it all the time, are invisible to most women.
Yep.
Yeah. Nah.
Yeah.
But you know, there's a lot more. Listen, I look at it like this: like for each one to get his shit together.
Yeah. You got to level up. There's no way around it.
Secure yourself to where you're not dealing with the fuckery.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Some people might feel a little insecure or whatever, or fuck, I don't know what to do. They ain't liking me. Get money.
Mm-hmm. Facts.
If you ain't 6 feet, fuck it. Get 6 figures.
Yeah.
Or 7. You know what I'm
Or
saying?
get in shape too. I tell guys, if
And
you're
get
under
in
6
shape.
feet,
That
you got to
helps
get in
too.
shape,
that
bro.
Helps too.
Yeah.
But it's motherfuckers who ain't never been in the gym.
Yeah.
They get into the bag and they, you know, I see it all the time. We see it at the malls, like these old motherfuckers. Like I'm like this shit. I guess so. I guess it's cool. You know what I'm saying? But
Mike, you want to know the number one way to get girls in today's marketplace? Clout.
Yeah,
you got clout, bro. You could be broke. You could be out of shape. Clout trumps
bizarre.
It's crazy, bro.
I always thought it was bizarre for a girl to be a groupie. They're like, what do you get? You just want to get
bro.
fucked?
I'm seeing skinny TikTokers.
Like, what are you getting?
With some of the back. I'm like, how is this possible?
Clout is if you had to pick one amplifier, if you were to pick one thing just to get girls, I would agree that it'd be clout. But we tell guys, fuck that. Get your money, get in shape, get your confidence. Because I always say this. Okay, so competence leads to accomplishments, which leads to confidence, and that's the perfect trajectory to become the best man. Once you become the best man, then you're going to move differently when you deal with the girls because you're going to have an abundance mindset, and then that's inherently going to make you attractive. And more importantly, you make the money, you become successful, you get in shape, not to get girls, guys. I say this a million times, but to not tolerate the bullshit that inevitably comes with dealing with girls. Girls are flaky, they're fickle, they're emotional creatures where they change every single day, whatever it is. You want to be in a position where it's like my way or the highway. And the only way you could dictate these terms to women is you got to be higher status and better than them because women don't want to equal. You know, shout out to hypergamy, right? We all know about this. You know, women date up. So you need to be up there so that she respects your authority and is willing to comply. And if she don't, you have the power to walk away.
Goodbye.
Right. Shout out to Priya. She just texted me right now. And she said she agreed modern women are trash. However, modern men are trash too.
Yeah.
I feel like society, generally speaking, is a lot of low-level energy. It's a lot of low-level. Listen, I got a lot of guy friends, right? There's a lot of people in my circle. I have a tight-knit circle, right? And my guys are all stand-up guys. Then you have outside of that people I'm just cool with, I know, whatever. It is horrible. You know what I'm saying? It's like, bro, why are you doing that? You know what I'm saying? Like really low-level energy and the priorities are fucking. That's it. Fucking. And we cannot like ignore that shit unless I know a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? And I do not like we not hanging, we not none of that shit because I'm like no matter you got certain friends and certain people you know that you've known for a long time. You just love them, but you get to a certain point like I don't want to be around this motherfucker. Like this is silly. This is foolish what you're doing.
Both genders need to understand. So here's the thing. Both genders need to improve. We tell guys on our podcast, you gotta level up. There's no way around it. You have to get better.
Yep.
But with that said, my only thing is that women aren't held to the same burden of performance that men are. You know what I'm saying? Like men kind of know deep down, like if I'm a pothead, I'm a loser, whatever. You know, society's probably gonna, shame me to some degree. They're gonna call me a loser, whatever. People are gonna clown me. And most importantly, what are we all here to do? To fuck, right? You're not gonna get sexual access if you're a loser as a man. Yeah. The thing is that we don't put burdens of performance on women, and women are basically told and coddled no matter how much of a loser you are, no matter how fat you are, how rude you are, whatever it is, we have conventions to make you feel better about yourself, and it's okay. And my only gripe is women need to self-improve too. It's just that society never wants to tell women they got to self-improve as well.
Yeah, we hold both genders accountable.
We hold both genders accountable.
Men and women,
Facts.
but at the same time, men don't have an outlet to learn how to become better men. Women have the view, They have the the womanist agenda with certain TV shows, stuff like that.
Do
But
people
men
take
don't
that
have-
shit serious? The View?
Honestly,
They do,
I
bro.
don't know. I don't
a lot
know
of
nothing about
older
it.
women.
I'm not gonna speak on it. I don't know shit about
A
it.
lot of older
Like,
women look up to that, and younger women too as
But
well.
we're not looking at older
Yeah.
women.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, older women.
but think about it. Who's raising young girls, older women? So I'm just saying, for example, like we don't have a platform where we can learn certain things. So hey, you know what? Now we say come to
Yeah.
our podcast. Go to different books because at least you can learn how to become a man.
Information like this
There.
is just hard to come by because if you say the things that me and Fresh say on our podcast, you're gonna get canceled or something's gonna happen to you. So very few outlets speak about uncomfortable truths between men and women and tell the truth like how it is. So people love it because it's like, damn, finally we don't have this BS with like, Dr. Phil or Oprah or Dr. Oz, they're capping all day telling women they're sugar and spice and everything nice, and they're not really holding them to a standard. We got Lonnie Love out here. She's criticized us a million times. Oh, these guys are jerks. They're misogynists, but it's like, yo, you're fat as hell. Like, bro, what are you talking? You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you talking about?
She agreed with us, and she said, "Oh, but
Yeah.
I don't like
I
how
don't like
he
the
said
way
it.
he said it.
He said it.
You know what I'm
He said it
saying?
in a bad way."
Wait,
It's
what was
like-
that on?
So I made it.
TikTok.
So this kind of shows that we live in a feminine centric society, right? So I made a TikTok video, right, and it went viral, millions of views, hit the Fox News, the View reacted to it, Lonnie Love, all these people reacted to it, and basically all I said in the video was, yo, if a girl flakes on a date, you gotta punish that bad behavior, hold her accountable, and if she decides if she wants to, yeah, sure, my Punisher shirt, right? So and I'll tell you guys how that started. So like you gotta punish that bad behavior and let her know that ain't cool, and she gotta buy you a drink on the next date. Viral all over the place. Are we dogs punishing bad behavior? Who do you think we are?
All this somebody known?
This was like like a bunch of news outlets. Fox. Who's the Daily Mail covered us?
Yeah,
The Real, The View. They reacted to us saying like, I don't like the way he said it. But what I'm saying is basically, as a man, you need to have boundaries and hold women accountable for their bad actions. Like if she flakes on a date, like that's not cool. But we live in a society now where men are taught do what's right, women are taught do what's right for you. This is why so many women flake. This is why so many dudes are struggling with women, because like it is like women are taught pretty much like it's okay to waste a man's time if you don't feel like going out with him, which is cool. I'm not saying that, but what I am saying is that if she wants to come back and deal with you, you got to punish that bad behavior. You got to buy the first round of drinks. But we live in such a crazy society now that if I tell men, hold yourself to a certain level, if a woman disrespects you in your time, punish that bad behavior, they're out here calling me a misogynist, a jerk, or whatever it is. And I was like, you know what? Y'all got mad because I said the word punish. So you know what? Now I'm the fucking Punisher. I'm Frank Castle on you hoes. So you know what I'm saying? That's where I got the name, because they got mad at me for saying punish. But my thing, all I'm simply doing is I'm telling guys, put your foot down and don't tolerate disrespect from women. But we live in a society where dudes are told to bite their tongue and be the higher man and tolerate that disrespect.
You know what though? They might say that, but fuck them. Because I don't adhere to none of that shit.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? And I feel like when you stand your ground, people don't really fuck with you like that.
Yeah.
I don't really get that energy. And I say, like, look, we had a larger woman that was in our old building one time, and we were talking, and she's very well known. You know what I'm saying? She's big. And she was talking about, but I'm cute. And I'm like, I said, you're going to die. Fuck all of that shit, what you think. You're going to die. Like, you probably got diabetes. Nah, I'm helped by blood. Like, everybody always, and listen, everybody always, oh, I'm good. My blood, I'm good. I'm like, no, it's not. Yeah, you don't know.
Facts.
Just seeing all of this fucking weight around your midsection section is a visible sign that something is very wrong, right? That's the first marker right there. So, she didn't feel no way about it. I mean, maybe she respected me or whatever, but I don't think I was rude. Was I rude that day?
No.
Yeah, but I told her, I said, you're gonna die. Like, you're gonna die. This right here is not cool.
See, that's
the best
considered
part of what you guys say, in my opinion, is this need to speak the truth.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that's a principle that we should all be able to agree on. I know we won't, because, like you said, people are sensitive and want to paint pictures in a certain way. But the need to tell the truth between men and women is big. Yeah. There's actually been two things now that you've said that if my fiance watches this podcast back, she's gonna be like, "Oh my God, did you plan this? Were you friends with them?" And one of them, did you tell them to say that? I'm not. You think I printed this shirt for him? I've said this before: is I'm not gonna reward bad behavior.
Bam.
Like, but you shouldn't reward mine either. If I do something crazy or weird and it was really out of line, if I did something bad, don't don't play into it. Don't, let me know that was a bad thing that I did or a thing that I did that was not appropriate. And that gives me a chance to course correct. But I'm going to do the same for you. I'm not going to reward bad behavior. It's actually a famous quote of mine. The other one is, without calling it an abundance mindset, it is this abundance mindset that I have. I believe Mike has it too, where we place such a high value on ourselves that we are at all times willing to say fuck this and I'm out. And not like on some temper tantrum shit. More like,
I respect myself.
I respect myself and what I have to bring to the table so much that I can no longer deal with you. And I've done it before in relationships, and I would do it again if I had to. And I think the understanding of that truth being spoken between myself and my fiance is very important. Like, it puts her in a position to respect me in a certain way, but also I have that level of respect for her. And I think that she also has communicated that to me. Like, if I'm not going to be treated the way that I want to be treated, then I would also be willing to step away if I needed to. And of course, being a lady, like you said, they're more emotional. They're more willing to stick around and like live in this fantasy of what they want to come true. As opposed to a man. However, these realities being spoken, I think it increases the chance of success. What I'm afraid of with a lot of the young men that you guys are communicating to is, if you can imagine, they're all just wandering around right now in the wilderness looking for some kind of light to gravitate towards. You guys are polished. You've become successful. You've learned a lot. You're well spoken. You've figured some things out about how to attract women and how to deal with them and how to play this game. You're going to bring them towards you. And what I get afraid of is that you actually want to show them step one, which is how to deal with ladies. Then you want to show them step two, crossing this bridge towards becoming a high value individual and someone that can actually be unfuckwithable and can get who they want and whatever. And you want that for them, I believe. I don't think you just want them to deal with women in a certain way, because you want them to, I believe, go through this whole journey of becoming the best version of themselves, being in shape, getting their finances right, and everything else that comes with that, developing their mind and their skill set. But a lot of them, it seems like, are getting stuck on just like hating women and not moving past that. They're getting stuck there.
Well, here's the thing.
And this is to clarify what he said. Every time I've spoken about my experience with you guys, I like these guys. Very intelligent, well articulated, and practical guys, right? And I don't disagree with them. It's the followers that don't seem to get it.
So here's the thing. I'll tell you this. It's because let me give you guys just kind of like where the followers, a lot of the time they're coming from, our supporters and guys in general that like get this kind of information. They've been told their entire life to be a certain way. Right? And when they find out that these conventions that are politically correct and, this is how you're supposed to be to get women, be a gentleman, do all this extra stuff. And then you find out it's a lie. And not only that, do you find out it's a lie, you've been hurt for doing these things where you might have been divorced, lost your children, been through the ringer,
cheated on,
whatever it is, cheated on, whatever. Then you get this anger that society has lied to you. And guys sometimes sit in that anger for a little bit. But we're here to pull the guys out and let them know, listen, you could be mad, but understand that you don't hate women. As a matter of fact, we give guys this information so that they will not hate women for what they'll never be to them. Shout out to our boy Rollo Tomas. We talked about this, The Rational Male, great book, talks about intersexual dynamics. Women love opportunistically, period. Men tend to love idealistically. The problem is that a lot of guys think women love men the way that men love women, and that's not how it goes. Women love under the pretense that you could provide some kind of value, period, which is why I always tell men, you're the prize, because women only fuck with you if you bring something to the table, whereas with a woman, she don't have to bring shit to the table and a high-value man will still fuck with her. So once guys understand that women love opportunistically, you can't hate them for what they'll never be to you, which is an idealistic lover that's going to love you unconditionally. The problem is that the narrative is we tell people that unconditional love exists. We tell people that women should love you no matter what. No. We tell guys women only love you under the pretense you provide value, and the sooner you accept that reality and that uncomfortable truth, the quicker you're going to be able to get on with your life and move with women in an intelligent manner and understand, it is what it is. If I fuck with her sexually only, it is what it is. If this girl rises up and is worthy of a relationship after she, conforms to my reality and she becomes an asset to me, only then will I commit to her. then you're going to be in a position of power because you know the game. But the problem is that so many guys operate blindfolded and they have this false idea of how women should love them and like them. And we're just telling guys, deprogram from that shit. Don't get mad and hate women. I get that you're going to probably inevitably get mad for a couple months, whatever. Accept the reality. Join us on the other side, and don't hate women for what they'll never be to you. Accept them for how they are.
And also, there's a game being played here, right? And we all say all the time, either you play the game or you're going to get played. So most guys, they don't understand female nature, or they don't understand how to date in this modern society. And the problem is, if you don't handle that right now, what's going to happen is you might make money, you might become successful, but guess what? At some point, you're going to meet a woman that wants to take from you, or may understand you a little bit better than yourself and can take advantage of you. We're just saying, hey, master that shit right now, because once you master that shit at the very beginning and then you become successful, now you can navigate life without being either hurt or really being taken advantage of. So that's what we're saying in the
we
long
teach
run.
men to operate with women in a defensive manner,
Yeah.
so that she can't come in and destroy your kingdom. You know what I'm saying? Because if you bring in the wrong woman, she could destroy your kingdom. That's why I say make a certain amount of money. That's why I say hit 35 years old. That's why I say get in shape. That's why I say have 6 months to a year of savings. That's why I say be the best version of yourself first, and have sex with a certain amount of women. The reason why I say that is because you put all these things in place so that you're now in a situation where if you want to take a woman seriously, where she's your serious girlfriend, she lives with you, or maybe even you guys get married, at least you're going in with your eyes open to a degree where she can't finesse you, or if she shows red flags that are typically a deal breaker for a relationship, you're going to be able to discern that. The problem is that so many guys become successful, they meet a baddie, and they're like, whoa, nice tits, nice ass, I'm going to commit to this girl, because they've never gotten chicks before and they're not well-versed on how to deal with women. But women, on the other hand, are very well-versed with men. A lot of them, by the time they're 18, 20, 21, they've already dealt with high-caliber men. They know the game. So you, 30 years old, you bring something to the table. You deal with this chick. She can run laps around you socially. You don't know that she might be a bad pick for you. She destroys you. You didn't pick up on red flags before that would have probably made her a terrible counterpart for any type of long-term relationship. So that's why I say guys got to become first, then get the girls. But you got to be experienced to know what you're doing.
And look, they said, for example, who hurts you? I've never been hurt in my life, bro. But I understand from a logical standpoint, I'm not going to put myself in a position to be hurt. Vice versa, he's never been hurt either. So we understand, hey, you know what? At the same time, yeah, you want to date girls. Understand there are many dangers dealing with women in today's society, modern women. And if you don't understand how to navigate, I'm telling you right now, bro, you're going to be hurt at some point, and it could cause you to be suicidal, depression, all that stuff happens, and no one talks about it. So we're saying, hey, you know what? Avoid these things from happening to you. Take care of yourself first. See all the red flags and don't fall for some of the traps in today's society.
We just tell guys, honestly, real talk, you need to date like women do. Like just how I said earlier, like women treat men like expendable commodities.
You got to.
Men need to operate on that same mindset that women are expendable commodities too. And then more importantly, you can't get a seat at the table and fuck with me like that unless you prove to me that you're worthy. And when men operate like that and they make the woman qualified to them, something magical happens. The woman starts to value that relationship. She starts to see you as the prize. And when women see you as the prize, they naturally fall into their feminine. They naturally submit. And then they're going to be happier because they feel like, okay, I got the best that I can get. Because women need to always get that affirmation that, is this guy the best that I can do? And if they feel like this is the best that I can do because she's constantly qualifying to you, you won.
Question for you
Women
guys.
can't love you until they respect you.
Facts.
I'll say it again.
Respect
Until
first.
they what?
Women cannot love you until they respect you. If they don't respect you, I'm sorry, my friend. She does not love you. She's there with you for a moment in time, and she's gone.
Facts.
But with respect comes responsibility. So
Right.
Sorry, go ahead.
Question for both of y'all.
Yeah.
So you both said you started late with dating, right?
Yeah.
How old were you when you figured it out? And
Okay.
what was it like before you figured it out?
So I got my virginity lost at 18 years old, right?
Okay.
And from that point on, I was trying to figure out, okay, at this point, how do I duplicate this process of getting laid? 'Cause that was pretty dope, right? I was a gamer, you know.
Copy and paste.
Yeah, going on vacation with family, never really thinking about girls, whatever. But I realized, bro, like certain things I can do can make me more attractive. And for me, I was on a small island called Barbados, right? You know, Rihanna, the singer, actually went to school with her too. And I realized, right, tourist girls are into island guys when they come to visit from like Europe, Canada, whatever. So what I would do
throw
is,
the accent on them, like
Exactly.
hey, what a beautiful woman, like you.
what getting on, all that stuff, right? So I'm like,
y'all seen Raw, Eddie Murphy Raw, Dexter St. Jock. You gotta
I've
watch
never
it.
seen that one.
I'm gonna check it out.
OMG, it's good that you haven't because now you're in for a treat.
I'm down for it, bro.
Classic.
But basically, right, I put myself in a position where I can maximize what my strengths were to get what I wanted.
Right.
So I literally was on this, like, there's like a park in Barbados called the Gap where all the tourists come. I was always there with my motorcycle, popped to the side by the club. My brother was a DJ, so I had a constant source of girls for months, bro. Right. Once I figured it out, I was like, damn, like I'm smashing these girls, and I'm like, I'm in the best position possible. And I always say, go where you're appreciated. Vice versa. When I left Barbados and came to America, no one knew who I was, and I didn't know where to go to kind of maximize my strengths. So I just figured out, you know what? How do I replicate that process of being somebody of status in Barbados to someone of status in America? And I realized, hey, how are these guys on Instagram living this lifestyle with these girls? What are they doing that I can't do? And I said, okay, if you can do it, why can't I do it? So I took like three years studying Instagram, how to become someone of status, and how to invest.
What does that look like, studying that stuff?
Bro, it's kind of like a vortex of YouTube videos and also like learning from mentors that are successful. And I had a millionaire mentor.
Like courses?
I got some courses too, but it was mainly YouTube for free.
Did it help?
Hell yeah.
Courses?
I would say courses are very important because they kind of like put in a box everything you need all together. Because you can take time on the internet and go for free, look here, there, and there, but to put it all concise for you, it's priceless. And that person's probably been through way more than you and can help you get past that learning curve. Long story short, I took the time to study, improve myself. Like I said, I took a year off for girls. And then I realized, hey, you know what? Damn, I can attract girls to me like I did in Barbados, but through social media. So I mastered Instagram. I pretty much set up a very good page. And I would say nowadays,
what kind of page?
Instagram page, right?
Okay.
And I would say, for example, your Instagram page is like the new resume.
Right.
Girls can see your lifestyle and say, hey, you know what? I want to fuck with him or I don't want to fuck with him. There's a choice being made there, right? And I've kind of broken on the barrier of saying, hey, you know what? I'm going to the club, cold approach. Because I did all that shit. I'll go to the club every night with my homeboy, shout out to him, Carl. We would talk to girls, whatever. And I would talk to like 20 girls at the nightclub. I'm going to get 10 numbers, but I'll only say like 3 or 2.
So you a numbers guy?
Yeah, numbers guy.
Do the odds.
You need numbers.
I can't fuck with that, bro.
Facts.
But hold on.
Go for it. No, it's cool. I know other people like that. Yeah. I'm like, man, I don't like that rejection.
But now
baby.
It's on my fingertips because now I'm on Instagram.
Right.
I can filter DM chicks. So I'm in my bed laying down. I got like 20 chicks hitting me up. Who do I want to see? No, I'm the one with the power. That to me is priceless.
What were you leveraging to get that power?
Lifestyle. So literally I tell guys all the time. You need to understand how to use social media because it's very powerful. Guys go in the bathroom, take selfies, all that shit. That is not how you use Instagram. You have to build a brand for yourself and become brand dependent. That means
very weird for a guy to post a selfie.
Bro, I don't know why they do it. Yeah. But, they don't know how to use social media. Girls, on the other hand, they know how to use it very well. And they use thirst traps, all this stuff to get what they want. I'm saying for guys, use lifestyle. Because at that point, you can attract rather than chase.
So like what? Traveling, cars?
It could be traveling, cars.
What did you use?
For me, it was like cars, lifestyle. Like, for example, I'll go to different spots that were popular. And I'll post a picture of me with good clothing, maybe with friends or whatever. Social settings that were
at this point, was you getting the bag already?
No, I was broke, bro. I was broke as hell. But I never said like, okay, this car was mine. I just said, hey, today I got rented a car. This is me having a good time with friends. You need to be congruent. Yeah. Faking it till you make it is not how you should go. At least understand, hey, what I can do right now. Let's say I'm a magician, I'm a musician, I'm an actor, whatever it is you're doing. Glorify that and make a better, I would say, perception of yourself online. Right. At that point,
did you say magician?
Well, some guys they want to be famous.
Don't do magician. Cape. I'll fuck with you.
But the point is that like whatever you're doing in your life, kind of like made that in a fun, cool way, so people can relate to it, and girls might want to be a part of it.
Right.
Like I know guys that they go hiking. A lot of girls like hiking. Like, may that be your standpoint.
They do. Yeah.
Yeah. So whatever your strength is, play on that part. Once that's complete, build a page around your lifestyle, show who you really are. And look, don't let's limit it to social media. Go to dating apps, go to in person as well. Right. And what's going to happen is you're going to start become congruent to who you really want to be. Yeah. And at that point, now you understand, hey, you know what? Now I can source from different avenues and not have to worry about, hey, you know what? Damn, I was on this dating app. It didn't work out. Okay, cool. Social media. Shit, that didn't work out. Go in person. The matter of fact is, guys' number one problem is sourcing.
Or massage parlor.
Yeah. you could do that too.
Whatever you're into.
Once you figure out how to source girls, bro, I'm telling you right now, bro, your life is at ease. Dude, they're like, yo, why are you alpha like this and big and alpha? Bro, I don't need to be. I understand that, look, I can be who I am. I'm not a big buff dude, but I know my strengths. Right. And I play to those strengths. So I'm saying for me, what I figured out is I can use social media to my benefit. And look, some people might need to do it in person. Maybe they're better talking to girls in person one-on-one. I did that too. The point is that find your lane, maximize all your avenues, and work it. At that point, once it's under control, now I can focus on what I really care about. I'm passionate about. My business, my friends, my family. And I feel like most guys, they become 50 years old, 60 years old, and like, damn, I'm still chasing women and I'm not successful. And that, to me, that's scary. Because I talk to millionaires all the time. They say one thing to me, Walter, you want to hear some advice from me? If I could go back in time, I would stop chasing women. I focus on business first. And I'm like, man, you're saying that because you got girls ready, bro. But like, I need to bust a nut. But then I understood, holy shit. They're saying this because if the time they spent chasing girls, they could have been way more successful than they were right now. If I'm young, I'm only 20 years old right now, right? I'm pretty young. But I figured out early on, if I focus on myself right now, I can get whatever I want later on. 100%. That to me, if guys understood that, it'll change the whole fucking game, bro.
Work now, play later.
Exactly.
Play now, work later. That's not the vibe. Yeah.
And people are like, yo, Fresh, how are you dating 3 girls a day? That's a fucking lie. Bro, matter of fact is, right, I have so much proof. See, the thing is, right, I'm in the game, and I show receipts, bro. I don't talk from my mouth. Whatever I've been through is because it's real. And I'm saying all the time, now.
What does that look like, though, to date 3 girls in a day?
So let me explain.
Are you saying smash 3 girls in a day?
Yes, sir. So
or date, like, is that like going out, hanging out with each girl?
I would do all 3. So I had a 9-to-5 job, right? I wake up in the morning, go to work, 5 p.m., I got there at 6. We'll go out, maybe for some tacos or whatever, have a little date, back to the spot, smash for the most part. If not, I'll see you another day. Second girl will be like at 9 p.m. We'll go to like a lounge area, a club, dance for a little bit, get some drinks, whatever.
This man's a savage.
Right?
Ladies and gentlemen, we got a savage in the building. We got a legend in the building.
But see, I'm an average guy. I'm a nice guy, so to speak, but I understand how to deal with women. And then lastly, I have a girl that's like maybe late night after 1 or 2 p.m. The other girl went home, come over, smash whatever. So I was understanding, you know what?
You wouldn't be tired the next day?
Dude, I can go for hours, bro. Pause. But
I'm saying, no, at work, you're not tired?
I mean, I would be a little bit, but not like to a point where it's like I couldn't function. Because
When were you doing that?
This was like when I was at Chick-fil-A. And then I moved from Chick-fil-A to AT&T and then to my other job. I don't want to say the company.
How long ago was this?
This was like 2 years ago. So, yeah, I came a long way. I'm just saying that, like, I understood how to deal with women.
And what do you feel about that period of your life?
I'm glad I did it. You know why? Because now I can vet women properly and not succumb to their ways of using sex against me. Because I feel like most guys, they don't understand that, look, it's a leverage. Whoever gives it the leverage first loses.
All right, question. So the first girl you would see, how do you get rid of her?
Well, first of all, it's funny because I'll let her know up front I'm on a time crunch.
Okay.
So I got stuff to do. Let's talk for a little bit. And they'll know each time. But the last one.
And would it be consistent girls or 3 different girls every day?
Different girls.
Every day.
Some will come back, of
so,
course.
So let's say in a 5-day period, you smashed and dated 15 women.
Facts. And people say all the time, bro, I don't believe you, whatever.
Were they dope?
Huh?
Or were they just like whatever you can get?
At the beginning, they were whatever I can get. But the more I increased my value.
Linebackers? Fullbackers?
Yeah, dude. I used to date 3s and 4s. 100%. But what happened was.
See, he admits it. He admits it, though.
No, dude. I keep it real, bro. I don't cap it at all. But I understood, hey, you know what? This is what I can get right now.
But did you, all right, those 3s and 4s, did you want to? Was it like, were you thinking like, I need experience with women? Or were you attracted to them women?
I mean, I like thick girls. So some of them were a little bit thicker than most. But to me, it was like, huh?
Thick is good.
Yeah.
But you said 3 and 4s. Is that thick or is that?
Well, you know, in the face, it might be 3 or 4, but the body is pretty bad. Right? So for me, it's more like, you know what? I want to understand what I'm doing. I want experience. Right. And at the same time, I'm showing them a good ass time too. It's not like I'm just going to pick you up and smash you. It's like, yo, you have a good time. You like the vibe. I can say this without a doubt. Most women I dated have no problems with me at all. Because they understand, look, they had a great time. They know what it is from the very beginning. I didn't lie to anybody. I said, look, I'm doing me. I'm living life. Let's have a good time. Let's see where it goes from there.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
So all right. So you didn't have a hard time. It sounded like you had it figured out for a long time how to source women, like you said, right?
I had a hard time.
You was doing it back in Barbados.
I had a hard time in America because remember, I didn't have the status. My family's kind of known in Barbados. I didn't know anybody.
For like 1 year period.
Yeah, for the year and a half because, like, remember, I'm a small kid from Barbados in a whole new world. No one knows who I am. I'm stuttering. I suck at certain things. I'm not very adept because I never had to like Really,
I haven't heard you stutter.
Well, I do sometimes, and like the chat, some of those niggas know I stutter. But the point is that like I got better over time.
Right.
So I'm just saying the average guy has to start at some point where you know what, you're not going to be high value.
You sound like a shark. and I'm a shark. I can recognize.
Yeah.
Because you was getting it in Barbados already, right? You just had to figure out where you was at when you moved. I mean, you don't know where you're at. Like you don't just start out with in surplus. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah. What about you?
For me, man, yeah, no, I was a nerd growing up. You know, I played Halo 2 at a semi-professional level. You know, back in the day, like 05 and shit.
Black belt.
Didn't go far.
You know, and then
Did you make money doing that?
No, I competed at tournaments and stuff, but like, you know, I played against pros, but I'll get smacked. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
But yeah, I played at a semi-pro level, and then, you know,
Do you still game?
no, not anymore. I gave it up.
Okay.
I gave it up. I played Overwatch at a high level too, but then I gave that up in like a couple years ago. Like 2018, 2019. I gave it up in 2018 when I moved to Miami. But long story short, man, throughout my 20s, I'm 31 right now. Throughout my 20s, I worked, you know, I saved money, whatever it may be. I was like, I kind of like knew these things about women, but I didn't like connect the dots. And then I read The Rational Male, fantastic book. Shout out to our boy Rollo Tomasi. And that connected a lot of dots for me. And then when I moved to Miami in 2018, I started applying these things. And then, yeah, I just started getting like a lot better because I was like going to the nightclubs every weekend. And I was like, you know, just getting good at cold approach and talking to girls on the fly. So like, I'm real good with like talking, like walking up to girls and just like starting a conversation out of nothing.
Bro, we'll be eating dinner. He said a 10 or 9 pass by. I'm like, bro, where you going? Zoom. You don't play, bro.
Yeah,
What do you
go.
say? Like, what do you up and say?
My opener typically is like, hey, I just had to stop you real quick. You're almost as cute as me. What's your name? Bang. And then like, I'll smile. And then
That's a
like,
good one.
I'll
That's
approach
good.
him in a certain way where my body's kind of bladed, where like, it doesn't show that I'm like investing too much in the conversation.
So you're not like this.
Yeah. Like I don't like, I'm real good with like a spatial awareness and like making sure that I don't make her feel weird.
Right.
But I also kind of leave it where it's like, I'm not too invested in interaction. And then if she shows me like, we call it IOI, indicator of interest, right? Not to be nerdy, whatever.
Yeah.
But like she does, then I'll reciprocate, and then I'll get a little bit more engaged in the conversation based on how she is. But like my thing is, I'm like real big on like looking at social cues, and if she's not interested, I just cut my losses early and just move on to the next girl. Especially when I'm like in a club.
I'd be like, hey, what's a girl like you doing in a place like this? And they look at me crazy.
Yeah.
I'll fuck with y'all do that.
But yeah, so
I never really approach nobody unless I feel a vibe.
Okay.
All right, she done looked at me like 8 times.
Yeah,
You know
so
what I'm saying?
you get like
yeah, because like I said, I don't like rejection.
Yeah,
and I don't
yeah.
want to fucking bother nobody.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I accept it. Like
Yeah.
I've been rejected so many times. I've just embraced it. Like it's just a part of the game, especially when you're like cold approaching girls. But yeah, man. I mean, I would say at 28, like is when I really started finding my groove. And then, you know, at this point, you know, I cold approach, I use online dating, I use, you know, social media, everything like that. We have a course we call it DMs on Demand. We teach guys how to get girls on Instagram. So, you know, it's all about using.
Sign up.
We got an
first.
email list. It's we got a list that we have, but it's gonna be released July 1st. But yeah, man, I mean, like the thing is, now I leverage every platform that I can.
Yeah.
To get more girls into the lead funnel and then just go from there. Now, honestly, since the podcast has been exploding, we haven't been messing with girls like that.
Yeah, not really.
As much as like we used to when we first met, we were like dealing with girls like all the time.
Now, if anything.
One a day.
Yeah.
One a day.
One a day, if
one.
that.
And it's funny because like people say, "Oh, y'all capping, bro." We keep it very real. If we were capping, you could never work with me. If I was lying, why you going to work with a liar? Vice
Yeah.
versa. If he was lying, I'm going to work with him.
I don't think that's.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
think y'all
We
capping.
show our L's too. We've talked about it on our
Listen,
Patreon.
bro,
Like a
yeah.
bunch of times we've been out on double dates and we got curved and all this
Dude,
stuff.
I
and,
married
like,
a single mom,
Life,
bro.
life
That's
is
what else.
life is way easier when you just honest.
Yeah, facts.
You can't be exposed.
You can't be exposed.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We talk about that too.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Sean, what did you when you were single? What is it called? Cold approach.
Yeah, like
Cold
just talking to a chick that you don't know.
What did you say? What was your thing?
You know what?
Like,
And
hey,
it all
did-
kind of
did-
like
did
it
you do
just
this?
It keeps running full circle.
Yeah,
I did
yeah.
this. That gets them.
That's a
usually.
good one.
Yeah.
Right? I ain't coordinating for that.
No, you know what? It goes back to that abundance mindset where it was like, I'm so focused on the mission.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
girls have come and gone, and I have literally. I'm so sorry if they're listening. I've told girls, you could get on this train, you could get off this train. It's just gonna keep going.
Yeah.
Like literally, it's not stopping for anyone.
how it's gotta
I'm
be.
just gonna keep going, and I would love if you're here. I'm having a great time, but like if you don't like it, I still got to keep going. I have a mission, and I'm motivated, and I'm gonna keep going.
Facts.
And that was the way it was. So I wasn't seeking people out. It was more like Mike, where they would show an interest in me, and then I would take up their cue, like what you said, but usually never like on an instant level. But I would take up their cues over time, and then from there proceed. But there's been a couple different times where I just approach someone just right away after meeting them. You know,
Yeah. With me, like it's very similar. I very rarely just step to somebody I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But when it has, it's because I'm like, I'm fucking feeling her. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody just, certain people hit you a certain way.
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
of course.
So I've done that a couple times, and that's worked out because I'm so honest about like, yo, who are you? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and one of them came in. This was in the gym, Metroflex back in the day, with a dude, right? Mm-hmm. That I know, but he wasn't my friend. So
Okay.
I don't. You're not my friend. I don't care. You know
Too
what I'm
bad,
saying?
brother.
Yeah.
So, and I'm so much of a shark. It didn't matter. Like. She had no choice but to choose up, to level up.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
there you go.
Yep.
But
Hypergamy.
it's different. Like everybody's in different places in life. You know what I'm saying? And everybody's starting from different places too. Like if it's a race, not everybody's starting at the same point.
Of course,
you know what
of
I'm saying? So it's really interesting because Sean and I have completely different backgrounds, but when it comes to certain things, we're lined up like identical. It's crazy because we didn't. We met 6 years ago, 7 years ago, but we're lined up on so many things. And when I first met Sean, I'm very to myself and very skeptical of everybody, right?
Yeah.
Well, I used to be at least. It took a while before me and him really got cool. And then when I really seen him for who he was and he seen me for who he was, like, it's my fucking brother right here. This is my boy. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So, but we happen to line up on a lot of things. You know what I mean? So when it comes to, I understand what y'all doing, which I provide for people, and I think that, I could see that there's a market for that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not in that market, and I'm not trying to be, like, I don't want anybody to take things that I say as I'm telling you this is how it is, this is the way it is. This is my perspective, because that's all I got. You know what I'm saying? And I'm personally not interested in what everybody's doing. Like, I don't really care. I hope, like, people that's around me in my circle, if they come to me for counsel, then I'm going to give them what I think is the best advice to give them. And it's always going to be quit fucking focusing on girls and get your money right.
Facts.
Because, look, a man, I tell my sons, is like, look, if you ain't a provider, you're not valuable. Nobody wants to help a grown man. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
That's not a vibe.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, but I also tell, like, I had a conversation with Elijah, my younger son. He's 15. I was just conflicted one day. I'm like, son, don't be like me. You know what I'm saying? Because I always felt like I had to be the man. Because the men in my family and my life were always the man. You know what I'm saying? The big boss, the big man. And I adopted that. And it brings me fulfillment in a very egotistical way, right? Oh, I provided this for so-and-so. Oh, I did this. No, I got it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you find you are devoid of joy to an extent. You know what I'm saying? Like, I worry about everybody so much. I'm never here for myself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I don't want my son. So you haven't experienced the shit that I've experienced, and hopefully you never will. But don't take on everybody's shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Because you will be devoid of a certain level of joy. I'm never at ease in my mind. You know what I'm saying? And I'm always sticking my head in shit to make I'm always taking the brunt for everybody. You know what I'm saying? So in my life that I care about, even if they don't need me to do it, I want to show like, yo, I got you. You safe with me or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So, and some people will say, oh, that's alpha. Yeah, maybe, but it ain't always fun. You know what I'm saying? Because you really, just like when you were saying you were putting on, you wasn't cap, but you didn't have the things that you was projecting, right? And you did it until you did become that person on Instagram, right? So, I mean, the things that you put a lot of energy in, you really become that. You dig in, you know what I'm saying? And I really became fucking Big Daddy, whatever the fuck. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta manifest it.
And the shit is exhausting. You know what I'm saying? But I'm so the way that I am, I can't change. I don't know what life would be like. I don't think I'd be happy if I wasn't needed. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? Like if people didn't like my phone is nonstop, right? With like doing shit for people and helping people and
well, your value as a man is determined by. That's why I always say, like, one of the things about being a higher status man or high value man is like you're in demand. You bring some kind of value to the market. You know, when you make money is pretty much like, you know, an externalization of like your value that you bring to the market.
Right.
So if you're able to bring a lot of value to the market, well, guess what? You make money because you provide some kind of value or service that is almost indispensable that they have to come to you to get it. So that right there is a great, you know, signifier that you're a higher value man, because people want to fuck with you. And that's why I always say, really, like, a high value man is determined by the market. A high value woman is determined by what caliber of man can you attract. And a lot of women get mad at me when I say that. I say women are like, well, I'm an alpha female, like I'm a high value female. And I'm like, no, you ain't, because there's no such thing as a high value woman, because what makes a high value woman is, are you co-signed by a high value man? And that had a lot of controversy. A lot of girls got mad at me. But what I said is, a woman's value is based on what caliber of man can you attract and retain. There's a reason why if a queen marries a peasant, he doesn't become a king. He turns into just a queen's wife. But if a king marries a peasant, she turns into a queen. A man can change a woman's life. You know, a rich man can change a broke woman's life, but a rich woman won't even look a broke man's way.
Queen
so with
Elizabeth
that said,
is a perfect example of that.
Yeah,
her husband is not a king.
Exactly.
Yep.
So
he just died, but he's.
So I laugh.
Yeah.
This goes back to what I was saying before when we were talking about Instagram. Women like to use male standards when it suits them, but they like to use female standards when it suits them. And this is one of those things where a high value woman does not exist independently. A high value woman only exists if she's co-signed by a high value man. Period. You know what I'm saying? Like, this whole moniker of an independent woman, blah blah blah. It's cap. It's cap. Women have only been able to be independent since, you know, since the industrial era, where like we've been able to, like, you know, outsource jobs and everything else like that. So you can say that you're a woman that makes a lot of money, that like has these masculine traits that makes her what a high value man would be. You're just a woman that has money. You're not a high value woman. A man's value is determined by the market. A woman's value is determined by what caliber of man can you attract. So I don't think a high value woman exists without the cosign of a high value man.
Nah, I feel you. I feel like people should live. I don't care how you live, how you want to live. You know what I'm saying? For me, I prefer tradition. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
I don't need my woman to be making all of this fucking money. Like, and I want you to have your own thing, because I've experienced, you know, I've been through different eras of my life to where I was like, you know what? I was gonna be somebody just fucking a dime, just some arm candy, just be chill at home, whatever, and that shit's boring. You know what I'm saying? Yep. And they're bored because they have nothing to do, and they fucking with me, and you know what I'm saying? I've been through all of that kind of shit. So
where you at? Why you not home?
It's like, but I get bored seeing you not doing nothing.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So for a woman to have a thing is important to me. Just have your own thing.
So I'll say this when I talk about like a high value woman or whatever. A high value woman is a woman that can attract and retain a high value man and is an asset to that man's life. The problem is that we get this question a lot because, like you guys know, we have our show and we have hundreds of women come in. One of the most prevalent questions the women ask is, well, this guy ghosted me. Why'd he ghost me? And I run them through the questionnaire. How many times did you guys meet up? What'd you do? Did you fuck him? Typically, yes, I had sex with him, and then he ghosted me. And I tell her, you want to know why he ghosted you? Because you didn't provide value outside of sex. And they look at me like, huh? And I'm like, yeah, baby girl, your job is to retain the guy after you guys fuck. But a lot of women, like I said before, they want to use masculine traits and think, well, I just smashed him and he should stick around. No, your value is can you keep the guy around?
What kind of attributes does that look like to provide value to the man after
Perfect
sex?
question.
Yeah.
So what I tell her is this. You got to conform to that man's reality. Fuck your shit. If you want a guy to take you serious and whatever, I'm not saying abandon your job or whatever, but you need to start to acquiesce to what that man needs. You need to become an indispensable tool in his repertoire where he can't really operate at 100% without you. Then that's when you get retained. Yeah. Because even if he fucks other girls, right, which I talk to women about this all the time too, I say when you deal with a higher status man, you gotta have to share him sexually. It is what it is. But men show commitment differently than women do. Men show commitment through taking care of you, protecting you, willing to die for you. You show your commitment through fidelity and not being a hoe. And it's very hard for them to wrap their mind around that because they're like, well, why can't he just be faithful? It's like, no, we're different. A man is just exercising options.
Can you say that again?
Yeah.
Can you say it again?
Men are different. Shit. Like we could fuck girls and still love our wife the same, but it ain't going to operate the same way for them. You know what I'm saying? So like with a woman, you show your commitment by being by his side, by being loyal and not fucking other dudes. The man shows his commitment to you by willing to die for you, protect you, and taking care of you. You know what I'm saying? That's how a man shows his commitment. So I asked a girl, we fucked another girl. I was like, okay, if someone broke into the house, would he fight to protect you? Yes, he would. All right, he's doing his job. Stop complaining. This is what comes with the territory when you deal with a certain caliber of man. They're going to have mistresses. They're going to fuck girls, whatever. They might cap and say, no, I love you. You're the only one, whatever it is. But remember, like I said before, we operate on probabilities and not possibilities. The probability is if you get a higher status man that's a 1%er, he's going to be doing 1% nigga things, which is smashing chicks.
Yeah.
So what I say to the girls is use your utility and keep him around with what you provide outside of sex. You need to conform to that man and help him out. So if you see a void in what's going on, let's say he has a business and he has issues looking at emails and like sifting through them. You take that on. You take that responsibility on without even saying a word. You notice that he likes the house clean, he likes a coffee in the morning, whatever. Unprompted, the house is clean and spotless. He has a coffee. Now you've become an asset to his life. The problem is this. So many women are conditioned to be a fucking liability. They want to come in and extract and all this other shit. That's why I tell guys all the time, modern day women, they don't build. They move in. So if they're going to move in, you got to make sure she got to pay the rent in some kind of way. And what I mean by that isn't necessarily monetarily, but she's got to be an asset to your life versus being a detractor from your life. Because so many women, modern day women, are conditioned to think, well, I just need to exist. He should be happy I'm here because they're put on a pedestal and they're not used to putting in work to keep a guy around. Yeah. So for the ladies out there that are watching, all 5 of you that might hate me, you need to be an indispensable tool in that man's life where he can't necessarily operate on 100% without you. Every man's different. Every man has different needs, requirements, whatever it is. But it's on the woman to be intelligent enough to find out about that man, see the void in what he has, and then fill that void and be a tool.
Yeah. And for example, like a lot of times they say, for example, why should I submit to every man? No, you shouldn't.
What's that again?
They're like questioning the reason why, like, I don't want to submit to every man. We're saying no. Find a high value guy that you can actually like and respect. Right. And at that point, once you find that guy, then like I had a girl come over, right? And we had a great time, went out, smashed whatever. The next morning I woke up, laundry was done, house was clean. I was like, damn, like that's dope. Most girls don't do that. So guess what happened? After that, we went to breakfast, had a great time, and I saw her again. But then it goes on the question, why am I seeing you more than once? It's like, yo, we just smashed and that was it. Like there's no like type of like consideration for me as a person, what I'm doing. And look, I'm not saying to like do this for every guy. I'm just saying, look, once you find a guy that is actually high value, hey, you want to keep him around? Do stuff to help him out. And look, my thing was like, I don't really clean my spot. I hire a maid. She saw a deficiency there. She helped there. I got business. Hey, I need these contracts signed, whatever, or these things given out. Hey, babe, I can do this for you. Here you go. Now that to me is adding value because now,
I'm like, hey, babe, I got this dude talking shit. Shoot this motherfucker.
Even
she
there,
take care of that.
Once it's adding value, I want to keep her around. Because let's be real here. You find a girl that's hot, smash.
100%.
Yeah,
I'm with you. You know what I'm saying? I feel
they
you.
gotta add value, bro. Too many women are just used to coming in and taking and not giving.
I've had those situations. So I'm like the one I had to show. Like, look, it's a lot.
Exactly. Yeah,
it's a lot, and that's a fact. Being beautiful is not unique.
Facts.
It's not unique. You know what I'm saying? And women should not hang their hat on that, like your looks, because that's if you hang your hat on that, you're in for a rude awakening because there's gonna be a younger, better version of you. You know what I'm saying? And as men get older, we can still get a 21-year-old, 22-year-old. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't go the other way around, unfortunately.
And see, here's the thing: women aren't learning this until it's too old. That's the thing. Like we had a lovely lady on our show a couple of days ago. She was 35, and we were talking about things that she was like,
"He's a sweet old lady."
Yeah,
lovely
we had to walk her in.
You know, and the thing is that
she's pretty hot.
She was attractive, but she was like, "I wish I knew this 10 years ago."
Yeah.
But when I asked my guy friends that I worked with, they told me it's fine. I could do whatever. Blah blah blah. Like you should take me for how I am. But I was like, listen, they ain't tell you the truth because they don't want to lose their job or get in trouble or whatever. Because when you tell women unflattering realities, listen, baby girl, yeah, you need to find the highest status guy when you're young and attractive and you have the most negotiating power, not be a hoe, be pleasant, be polite, be in shape, not be rude and annoying, bring value to that man's life versus extracting, not be a nuisance, be quiet, etc. When you say these things, what happens? You're toxic, you're misogynistic, blah, blah, blah. So what do men do? They just keep their mouth closed? I ain't going to say nothing. I'm just going to get the box and I'm going to run. And they're not going to tell women the truth because like I told you before, when you lie, women buy. Advertisers understood this, and men are starting to realize this too, that if I lie to chicks, I could get what I want. But women lose because here's the thing. With men, at least we know up front there's a burden of performance and we need to rise to a certain occasion to get what we want. Women don't know that. And the sad part is they're sold a false bill of goods. Chase your career. Be strong. Be independent. You don't need no man, blah, blah, blah. This narrative sets them up for perpetual unhappiness. And as a matter of fact, we did a whole podcast about this, about how feminism has failed many modern day women. as women have become more liberated, they've actually had lower rates of approvalness and happiness in life. 1 in 4 of them is suffering from some kind of antidepressant or anxiety medication, and they have a prescription. Now, that's just the ones that were smart enough to go to a psychiatrist. You know, we have more single women than ever before. Divorce rates are high. 80% of divorces, 7 to 8 out of 10 divorces are initiated by women. So what does this tell you? Well, as women have become more liberated, they've been less happy. Why? Because we've lied to them and told them that they're going to get the same fulfillment from chasing a career in a bag that they will from getting a family. And I've said it many times on this podcast, and they get on our podcast, and they get mad. But it's true. Women don't derive the same pleasure from success and making money that men do. We're built for it. We're built for confrontation. We're built to work long hours. We're built to work dangerous jobs. And as a matter of fact, you look at the numbers, men make more money than women. Why? Not because there's an inherent gender gap. No, it's because men choose to work more hours, work more dangerous jobs, and men are far more risk tolerant than women are. So women aren't really built to work like that. And if they do get a job, what do they pick? They pick socialism type jobs. Jobs that have more social dynamic to them. You know, men tend to be interested in things, women tend to be interested in people. So they want to be teachers, they want to be social workers, they want to be involved in HR, they want to deal with people, which is fine, but these jobs pay less. So it is what it is. But with that said, they don't get the satisfaction from that because typically most women, children is a large predicator on female happiness. I hate to say it like that, but children and family is what women typically tend to derive pleasure from. Now, are there going to be those exceptions to the rules where they can, you know, be like a man and fuck a bunch of people and chase a career and make money and be happy? Absolutely.
I doubt it.
But on a balance of probabilities, if you take an average woman, she's going to want children, a family, and more importantly, a man that she can love, defer to his leadership, and respect. That's a lot of women derive that pleasure from a family. So, you know, like I said, feminism has lied to a lot of women. And the sad part is they don't find out until it's too late. 35 years old, no kids, no husband. They're drinking themselves to sleep every night, trying to figure out what's going on.
Cats and dogs.
And it's because society lied to them and told them you could chase a career
Cat food
and you're going to
food.
be fine. And it's like, nah. And then next thing you know, they're calling in Kevin Samuels. I'm 35. I got 2 kids. You know, I'm a little overweight. But I make 150 grand a year. Do I deserve a high value man? Hell no, you don't. Click. And they get mad. But that's the truth. A man's value and a woman's value are different.
Yo, you want to hear a stock tip? Invest in dog food and cat food. Because it will be going up very soon.
Yeah. So
check it out, yo.
Yeah.
We've been at this for a minute.
Yeah.
But
this was lit. This was a great interview.
One last thing I want to know about. Y'all did an interview with the legend with Uncle Kev.
Yeah.
What was that like? What is he like? You guys know him pretty good, or?
Yeah,
he's a cool dude, man. Very smart, very sharp.
Yeah, he's definitely knows his stuff, and he's definitely aware of the current marketplace. And I'll say this, like, he talks about reality. And let's be real here. In this current marketplace, no one wants to hear the real. They just want to hear fluff, what sounds good to them. But he says, you know what? Fuck that shit. This is why you're not happy. This is why you're in a situation. Now, how do you move forward with this? And I feel like we need more of that because let's be real here. Society, we said, lies to women. Some guys lie to women. But he says, hey, you know what? This is reality. Take it or leave it. And I respect that 100%.
Just like a lot of women, they're not going to land a top 10%er in a relationship. It is what it is, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Most women won't.
They won't.
Yeah.
And the thing with Kevin
there's
is
not many of them. Like what you said.
Yeah.
10%er.
Yeah.
That's a tiny percent of the population.
It was funny. Kevin spoke about men first before he spoke about women.
Yeah.
He was hard on guys. Hey, level up.
Yep.
Get your fashion in order. All that stuff. And then move to women. So he was from
He
both
wasn't really
sides.
hard on them though.
He was tough, man.
Yeah.
He said,
It
hey,
was more like
yo, he was rough to them, bro.
fragrances.
Yeah.
And the top cologne.
Oh no, there was a segment where he was rough, bro. If you go
Okay.
back to his old videos, bro, he was
Yeah.
tough.
I mean,
bro.
it's the thing is that, you know, it's getting a lot of like, the thing is that he's saying things.
I don't even think it's about being tough. Like I don't think he's being tough on women. I think they just some of them have a hard time accepting reality.
Facts.
And you start fighting and arguing, then it feels like an argument, and
Yep.
it feels like someone's being abrasive. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying?
and like I said, when you lie, women buy. Look at Derek Jackson. He made millions of dollars off of chicks telling them you're fine the way you are.
yo.
Don't worry about it.
Peep this shit.
Like he made him, but then what happens? He gets exposed. Oh, if you cheat, you're a POS. And then what does he do? He cheats on his girl because the thing with Derek Jackson is he was smart enough to understand that if I lie to women, I'm going to get this bag. I'm going to make this money. And what did he do? He lied to women. He supplicated to what they want. Tell them comforting lies. You deserve a high value man no matter what. They bought in, makes $1 million in a day,
But you get
capping,
exposed.
and then he gets exposed.
I never heard of this guy until all the controversy about him. Me and him was in a clubhouse room on the same stage one time.
Oh.
I was like, I want to ask this guy some questions. You know what I'm saying? But I left it alone because that's not, I don't know shit about him. So was his content all about don't cheat on women, like that kind of shit?
He basically what he did was he told women comforting lies that like that would allow them
what? Like give me
like,
examples.
hey, if that dude is doing this and this to you, like he don't deserve you. Like he rarely held women accountable for their bad actions in a relationship, and he always put the blame on men.
If you're fat and out of shape, he should love you for your curves, girl.
Yeah.
And that, but what happens
shit
is,
like that.
like we said
Come
earlier,
on.
if you're not
Really?
real, you're gonna be exposed. And he was faking the whole time to make.
But
it
he's
back.
smart though, because he knows. Like anyone that's a salesman or anyone that's in advertising knows women are easier to sell to. They're 80% of the consumer base. So if you tell women comforting lies, they're going to buy. Even Gillette bought into that thinking like, let's just, make fun of our target audience and see if the women buy. And if it backfired on them, but for them to even think that they could take that risk tells you that we are in a gynocentric society. That's why I was respectfully disagreeing, saying like, it's not a man's world no more. It's a woman's world where the female way of thinking is the correct way. That's cool.
I understand that.
Yeah.
I understand what you're saying, but it's still, women don't run anything here.
Well,
What do they run? What do they control?
Hold on, the media and tech companies are run by women.
Facts.
HR.
What tech companies?
Man,
He came from the tech world.
man,
so.
I don't want to.
But all right. So I'm friends with a lot of powerful dudes in fintech and tech.
Yeah.
Dudes.
But hold on, who's doing the marketing and PR though? Women. Let's be real here.
But who runs the company? I'm talking about owners. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
It might be a man that owns it,
But
but he's using femme-centric tactics to push his agenda and push his business. So, like, even though he's a man, he's still a businessman.
Exactly.
And he understands that if I want more business, women are a better demographic to market to. That's why Derek Jackson made such a killing. If you're like in the male space and you're talking about the stuff we do, we ain't going to make nearly the amount of money as a coach that supplicates to women. That's why Derek Jackson will hold a seminar, make $1 million in a day.
Sell out stadiums.
Because there's
Really?
more money in lying to women than telling them the truth. So these businessmen, even though it's run by a man, and he might think like us, who knows?
Yeah.
But it don't matter, because what is he doing? He's running femme-centric promotions. He's running femme-centric advertising. He's doing the female way of thinking, because the female way of thinking makes dollars.
And also, they don't want to offend nobody. Because
Facts.
you offend the people, who are you going to offend? Women. So if it's women marketing to women, they're not going to say anything offensive at all.
Cancel culture, real talk.
Yeah.
Cancel culture is a personification of the female way of thinking,
Yep.
where critical thought that might put them in a bad light, or anything that challenges certain views that tend to be a little bit more liberal, is considered bigot, stupid, misogynistic, whatever it is. No, it's not misogynistic. It's realistic, and we just apply biology to how men and women operate in the most primal thing, which is mating. You know what I'm saying? Where we can't afford to be politically correct. Because if we be politically correct and tell guys to be a nice guy, be a gentleman, etc., they're gonna take an L. So we have to be brutally honest especially when it comes to dating. But when it comes to business, everything else, these guys can cap, because
so you think men should not be gentlemen?
hell no.
No.
So how should they conduct themselves?
I say it like this: men, when you guys go out and date these girls, pretty much she belongs to the streets unless she proves otherwise to you that she's worthy of a relationship.
Yep.
And the reason why I say that is because me looking at the numbers, everything else like this, because we operate on probabilities, not possibilities. A lot of girls you're going to run into are going to probably disappoint you from a certain standpoint, whether you want them to be a virgin, you want them to not be hoes, you want them to be a good, dutiful girlfriend, whatever it is, because society propagates females adhering to certain characteristics that don't make them good girlfriends.
And also,
so operate under the pretense that she's going to disappoint you, and let her qualify to you that she's worthy of a relationship. If she qualifies to you and shows that she's worthy of a relationship, then now you can be a gentleman.
So what does the behavior look like, say, on a date when you're reserving your gentleman tactics?
So there's a couple of things that we tell guys to look out for when they date women, which we've like broken it down, like top things that, she belongs to the streets, you should be worried or whatever. And I'm not saying don't date her, but what I am saying is that when it comes to a real relationship where this girl has some like emotional investment from you now, whatever, you need to operate on defense and let her qualify to you, and pretty much, hey, you belong to the streets unless you prove to me otherwise. And then when you move like that, you're just going to be in a better position. You're going to be in a position where now she's got to qualify to you, and it's better that way anyway. But that's what I tell guys is being a gentleman in today's day and age is reserved for when the girl earns it. Because since women don't want to be traditional, I tell guys, you don't be traditional until she shows she could be a traditional woman.
And also on the show as well, we have girls all the time. What do you prefer? And some of them are honest, some of them are lying, of course. But the general consensus is, if a guy's too nice to me, I'm trying to figure out what's his angle. And it's not us saying this to be like assholes. It's just like girls are saying, hey, if he's too nice to me, open the doors, shit like that. What's his agenda? What does he really want? Versus if he's just naturally who he is, who is, you know, who he wants to be. And so, you know what? This dude is like legit. He's who he is. I can respect that. Versus me saying, open door for you, smash, and never do it again. It's like, you just do this to get sex. So girls really, honestly, bro, they want the assholes because at least that's who you are.
Ladies, you're gonna get mad at me, but you know what, guys? You're an asshole until she earns that chivalry. Yeah. Chivalry today has got to be earned, not just given.
All right, so I don't think this is no slight at you guys.
Yeah, no, sure.
I don't think you guys have encountered the type of women that you want to open door or be a gentleman for. You know what I'm saying?
We have, but we vetted them first.
I have.
We vetted them first, though. That's the thing. Like we weren't gentlemen to them up front, is what I'm saying. Like we have met these girls, but they had to qualify first.
I'm not a nice guy, right? I've dated like high profile women, low profile women, and I understand that like if I do certain things at the very beginning, they might take it as like a sleight of like hand. So I understand. Hey, you know what? I'm gonna have these traits, but I'm gonna show them at the right time. I'm not gonna just go.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I just don't think like that. You know what I mean? I try to be a gentleman all the time. You know what I'm saying? Even if a girl gets weird and crazy, I'm gonna just be quiet, be nice, and let her leave and do her thing. You know what I'm saying?
But you're an exceptional individual, Mike. She already knows when she's dealing with you from the way you carry yourself, the way you're already very well calibrated guy. You're already very socially sharp. You're what, for all intents and purposes, you're a 0.001%. So like when a woman deals with you off rip, she's gonna know, okay, I can't really fuck with this guy. She's already gonna assume pre-selection. She's gonna assume higher status. So she's gonna move correctly. So like if you show some gentleman attributes, it's probably gonna help you because you're not coming off as a fuckboy or an asshole. But like to an average guy or whatever, we tell these guys, yo, she's got to qualify to you and prove she's worthy of that chivalry. Because for most guys, if you lead off of the foot of chivalry in the beginning to a woman that hasn't earned it, she's going to take it as weakness and then run with it and destroy you. So that's why we tell them she's got to come to you first. And, you know, basically you got to knock her off the pedestal is what it is. But if you have a certain kind of energy, a certain vibe, you have a certain status, women will come correct from the beginning. Which, like, for you, they know off rip just from the way you carry yourself. If he's acting like a gentleman, but I better not cross this guy. But other dudes might not necessarily have that same presence that you have.
Is the message here to not do too much too soon and to, like, be too vulnerable? Or is it outright that you think that to use the nomenclature, you think you increase your conversion rate by outright being rude or anti-gentlemanly? If gentlemanly is holding the door
be rude
and paying and being super nice and complimentary, bringing flowers, is it the opposite that's effective? Or are you saying just be neutral?
I'm not saying be rude or anything like that. I'm saying
because it kind of sounds like that.
Yeah, you need to be. It's not about being rude. It's about being, how do I say this? Non-reactive. So like you come in kind of like, I don't care how this goes. Like you're not overly invested in impressing her or making her feel special or whatever. You know what I'm saying? At least in the beginning stages, like, you know, obviously we tell guys pay for the dates, be a leader, you know, certain things that make you attractive. But like as far as like being a super gentleman, bringing flowers, being a nice guy, all this extra stuff.
That's not the vibe.
Yeah.
I'm saying like opening the door or y'all like, nah, fuck that.
Like, no, you like, here's the thing. All I'm saying is you don't go out of your way.
Why not just don't pay? Like you got it?
Because some guys, they'll take this to an extent where they say, hey, you know what? I'll be a gentleman. Open the doors. Yeah. Get them flowers. Maybe even just flowers.
You know people still do that?
Open your chest.
Yeah, bro. Guys do.
And here's the problem though, right? When you do that and that's not who you are, guess what? You just fucked yourself because now it's like, wait, why isn't he opening the door anymore for me? Why isn't he doing this for me? So you set precedent where that's not who you are. If that's who you are at some level, yes, we understand. But just most guys are not going to be like that. So
and we tell guys, take a girl on a cheap date, right?
Hey, shout out to Blueface.
Yeah, shout out Blueface. Rich nigga, take her on a cheap date. And we say that because you don't want her to think that she could finesse you or whatever, and then it's low investment on your end. I'm not saying, but the other reason why I say take her on a cheap date, you know, drinks or whatever, casual, is because you pay for it. But I tell guys not to pay for the date to be a gentleman or anything like that. It's assert dominance, leadership, and authority, because when you pay for the date at the first spot, all right, yo, we're gonna go next spot. She ain't gonna challenge you. You know what I'm saying? Because there's like 2 points in a date when a woman's anxiety is typically the highest.
Yep. It's
when she first meets you to see, are you really as tall as you are? Do you really look the way you do? That's number one. And then number two is when the check comes. So if you alleviate that anxiety by just putting your card down, not thinking twice, she's gonna that's going to put her in her feminine. She's going to be more likely to follow you. But we say it not to be a gentleman. We say it to assert dominance and authority. Later on, if she qualifies to you and she shows that she's a good girl, she's worthy of it, that's when you can start taking her on nice dates and you can start being that super gentleman.
So
but it's got to be
I feel
earned.
like some of the other things that you could do that maybe you're not directing guys towards doing can also have some of those effects. Like if you open the door and you like appear to scan the room, or you look both ways before you guys cross the street, or you have her walk on the inside. That's the key.
So the
these
key
are all
is
dope things that you can do that also will put yourself in that protector position.
Yeah.
That
Yes.
gets girls going.
But here's the key. We tell the guys, if you're going to do stuff like that, it's always got to be under the pretense where you're doing it from a dominant leadership position and not a supplication position. Does that make sense?
It does.
So like as long as you're not because dudes will do extra shit to impress the girl.
Yeah.
That's when I have a problem. It's got to be done to assert dominance and put you in. I know this sounds awful to say it, but you got to come off as like I'm better than you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because
And
that's what women
here-
respond to arousal wise.
So you talked about women. It's real interesting about women. Like there's one thing for conversion and there's another thing for retention, right?
Yeah.
These are metrics that we look at in our business too.
Yeah, for sure.
Conversion's one thing, retention's another.
Yeah.
You want to continue to retain people that are customers, just like you want to retain a relationship. If guys are acting a certain way and putting out a certain type of energy to try and attract a woman, but they haven't actually been putting in the work on themselves to like be that guy, they're gonna get found out.
For sure.
And they're not going to be able to retain either.
For sure.
Even if they are able to somehow trigger these certain emotions or arouse the female to get with them immediately, they won't be able to retain because they're not that dude.
That's what happens with a lot of players that are like good with game, but they're broke.
Yep.
Like you'll get a chick, you'll smash her maybe 1 or 2 times. But
then
I
that's
always
it.
say it like nothing drives a woman's vagina like pulling out her own wallet.
Yeah.
So like at some point she's gonna get tired of you, like, yo, this dude's a bum, whatever. Like you'll be able to finesse it for a certain period of time, but typically, you know, you're on a time clock. So that's why we say, yo, just be congruent, be who you say you are, become successful. But my biggest thing is I'm saying don't be a gentleman for the express reason of being a gentleman to appease to the woman. You're gonna do gentlemanly things, maybe holding a door or scanning the area or doing, because I told guys before, across the street, put her in front of her, you're doing it to assert dominance. So I tell the guys, you need to be on the mindset that anything you do on the date needs to be for your own, how do I say this? Your own benefit, where you're asserting dominance on the date and letting her know that, and that automatically puts her in a submissive. But when dudes show up with flowers or putting her on a pedestal, whatever, like these traditional gentleman things, that's when I have problems, because women aren't traditional anymore. So you can't be a traditional guy up front. At least she's got to earn that traditionalism from you and that chivalry.
Yeah, I'm with you on a lot of that, and I think even the idea of why a lot of those things were being done, being for this like weaker person version of it versus being that protector and being the strong male. I think that's marketing, that's spin. Like even before when it was done, I don't think it was done for like this simpleton reason or this like low level. I think it was the same stuff before, just now there was a spin put on it to make it be negative because some people were like, damn, that tactic didn't work for me. But on the other hand, I think those people just aren't that person. Like I said, they can get a conversion, but they'll get no retention because they haven't put in enough work yet.
Yeah.
And so I just want guys to be aware of that. It's like the time you spend putting, let's just say, negative comments on videos or like trying to troll people, that would be so much better spent investing in yourself and trying to become that guy that you would like to project yourself to be, so that you can not just convert but also retain. And then you could truly be in the driver's seat about what you want to do.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree, man. Like we don't spend time bashing other people.
I know you guys don't.
business.
Yeah, I know you guys don't.
Yeah. But at the same time, I get what you're saying, because a lot of guys still do dumb shit that doesn't make any sense towards their growth. But at the same time, it's like, okay, understand that like your time is very precious. And even dating girls, like you said earlier, being a gentleman can mean different things. We're just saying, hey, focus on things that you actually do, be congruent to who you are, so that when you go on a date, it's not forced or faked. If that makes sense. So
yeah, it's about being congruent, honestly. And just, you know,
listen, bro. Like I want to rap, right? But I don't disagree with y'all.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That was a good discussion. We disagree on like little nuances here and there. But that's fine. It's good discussion, man.
Yeah.
And
but the
I think
baseline is level up for men.
Yeah.
And at the same time, understand that you can't just let things happen. You have to make your own destiny.
I guess my perspective is like, I work on myself still. I'm still trying to qualify myself to be that ultimate motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? So that's why like some people felt a certain way earlier, because I'm like, fuck average. But I've always said that.
Yeah.
Y'all like my shit when I said fuck being average, right? But when it comes to something as close to home as this is dating, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you can get your feelings hurt, but guess what? That builds character. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Nobody becomes strong and powerful without suffering in some capacity.
100%.
That's our best friend. You learn like that, and you get stronger like that. So, you know, but I feel like first and foremost, you need to get your shit together because, you know, and people, they talk shit, whatever.
Yeah,
It's whatever, right?
Yeah.
Like, I have my life. But, fuck, I lost my train of thought. But anyway.
People talk shit. You have your life.
Yeah. I lost it. It's
Not
gone.
being average.
It's out there.
It
It ain't coming back. But at the end of the day, I'm good, right? I've, you know, different. You know, you want different things at different stages of your life, right? I've had like a lot of people's fantasy girls. We have videos together. You know what I'm saying?
Of course, yeah.
And I have a good time. I really enjoy life, and I can do what I want. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like, you know, I have a lot of purpose in my life because I have children. So that's my purpose is making sure my boys are stand-up men, and my kids are just happy, independent of me when they become adults, and just productive members of society. That's all I want them to be. But the main thing is happy. You know what I'm saying? So
that's what it comes down to.
Right. And I have a network of really good people. Sean, my boy Simeon, even y'all now. Like, I like you guys. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, and to me, for me, and I'm not saying this is what life's about, motherfucker, but to me, life is about meaningful relationships.
Yeah.
Because that's a vibe. When you got somebody, you know, people you could just talk to, you know what I'm saying? Just vibe with, whatever. So, but on the dating shit, I happen to know a thing or two. You know what I'm saying? Because I've been having my way for a long time. And yeah, I had to learn a bunch of shit. You know what I'm saying? And I have had my heart broken before. But when I was young, you know what I'm saying? Like, y'all didn't know it. I'm like, what the fuck? Why do I feel like this? You know what I'm saying? Fuck her. You know what I'm saying? But now it's never, shit is so, that side of things is very easy. What's hard is me making myself cool with just what I say, what I want. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
So that's it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, for the fellas out there, listen, level the fuck up. Or not. Like, you don't have to. That's fine. Like, if you don't elevate yourself to certain levels, you will deal with a reality that's just a little bit lower than what's up there. You're going to see what's out there. And I never like being a person that's seen super fly shit that I don't have access to. Fact. That's why I work my ass off so I can touch this, I can get that. It was a motherfucker talking shit to me the other day. My son is about to turn 16, so I'm gonna buy him a car for his birthday, right? So, you know, I went by, it's a shout out to Eurocar. They like the #1 fucking luxury car dealership on the West Coast, right? And they're right down the street.
That's where our boy got his car from, Q Banks.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I went, and there was a drop head Phantom in there. It's beautiful. So like, let's drive it. So we riding it, put it on the gram, and dude was like, yo, why you, what'd he say? Why you trying to flex and all that shit?
Yo, I saw that comments. I was like, yo, why is dude hating, bro?
I am flexing. It's not my car, but I could buy this. My car costs more than this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I could buy that, and I could buy that for my son.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I am flexing. I have no problem with flexing, whatever, because I'm honest with my shit. But, you know, but people that just stay in that low vibration, they do that kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? Versus being motivated by, I'm motivated by people doing better than me.
Yeah.
I go somewhere every day in the morning at the gym where people doing better than me, and I'm like, I'm motivated,
bro.
And I'm asking questions.
I'll never forget, bro. I was at Starbucks one day, right?
Yeah.
This back when the year I took off of dating, studying how to invest, how to become better. I saw a guy with a Lambo pull up to Starbucks with a hot girl, right?
Right.
I was like, damn, this is awesome. Like, this guy's doing well. I want to get there one day. I asked him, hey, bro, what do you do for a living? How can I improve myself? I'm working at Chick-fil-A right now. What do I need to do? He said, read his book. I could have been like, damn.
What was the book?
It was T. Harv Eker, The Wealth. It was something called Secrets of the Millionaire Mindset. Okay. Right? By T. Harv Eker. So I could have been like, damn, like, this guy's living life like, I hate you, bro. Like, I should be you. Why am I not you? But I say, hey, you know what? He's somewhere that I want to be. What did he do to get there? He gave me one gem. That one book, bro, I found it in a thrift shop. It was like $3. that changed my whole mindset. And this goes to show, you may not be where you want to be. You see somebody living life. Don't hate. Figure out how you can get there yourself. And look, now we're about to buy a Lambo, bro. And it's like, dude, I was working at Chick-fil-A, $7 an hour. And I'm about to have a Lambo.
That's dope.
That's fucking dope. So
That's dope.
if you're gonna hate, bro, like at least understand. Look, if you stop hating and say, hey, you know what? How can I get to this point? Ask the person, hey, instead of hating, ask them, yo, bro, how'd you get this? How'd you do this?
Yeah,
and they'll be glad to share with you.
As a tactic, you're right. People who's doing good, when people ask them tips, and they love to share that wisdom. You know what I'm saying? It's like they're honored. Like, okay, and they start talking to you. You know what I'm saying? Because they want to share the wealth, share the information. You know, and people like to feel needed. You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
But yo, salute. I like what y'all doing.
Yeah, man.
I'm sure y'all gonna hopefully get a whole bunch of influx of people.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
man. It'd be great.
Because I was going through the comments. Yep. But they were not all bad. You know what I'm saying? A lot of my people were like, yo, I fucks with that. You know what I'm saying? So I don't provide dating advice. You know what I'm saying? So, but y'all do. And my shit is all about, like, you know, I baited people in with fitness. It's low hanging fruit.
Yep.
You see me with my shirt off, lifting whatever. But they in the beginning, I wasn't just hitting them with fitness. I was hitting them with the mental jewels and the mind state shit, right? And everything that I speak on, I try to speak on. I try to be positive with them, and give them something, a position from a rational space. You know what I'm saying? For people to level up. Here's the thing: I give you certain tips and tactics. It's up to you if you use it or not.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna do what I feel is the right thing to do by providing you guys with the best information I can. I never show people like cheat meals and none of that shit because I'm like, you might not be ready for this.
It's a dangerous slope.
It's a slippery slope, right?
Which is why we tell guys not to be a gentleman up front either.
Listen,
slope.
But we gotta define the parameters of what you're talking about.
Of course.
Because I thought you were talking about like opening a door or paying for dinner. Flowers, that's not even in my thing. Like I would never go to a date.
But a lot of guys will
I
do that.
I didn't think that was a thing. I thought it was like
bro.
on TV. You know what I'm saying? Or he got his suit on, his mom's.
Bro, it's crazy.
Down, you know what
so
I'm
many guys don't know though, man.
Yeah, they don't know.
It's crazy.
Right. I could see your girl sending flowers to her job on birthday and shit like that, but I'm not showing up to a date. I'm not going on a date. Like, my life is a little different. You know what I'm saying? But moral of the story is I try to provide good shit, good information. You know what I'm saying? And I think that if people listen to what you guys are saying, really listen, you know what I'm saying? And you guys are smart. It's not like you just, because there's a lot of, this movement is across the board, even with like Jordan Peterson, who I'm a huge fan of, right?
Yeah, shout out to him.
Like very damn near identical. So, I just want people to take the hard work part out of it too, not just the fuck 50 girls.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly,
because that's a buzz. Those are buzzwords that I just know human nature. You know what I'm saying? And
They're gonna erase the 100K a year, 6 months a year of savings, and you know,
people think that's
getting in the gym.
They think that's unattainable. Yeah, but it's not. You can do that shit with a 9 to 5, working overtime. Probably.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
I work at Chick-fil-A, bro. Goddamn.
You know what I'm saying? And I tell people this too. I'm getting into my shit, but I don't give a fuck where you work at. Do that shit like you own that bitch. You know what I'm saying? Add real fucking value. You know, both of us been in situations before where we worked for somebody. When it was time for us to go there, like, no. You know what I'm saying? You want to be that kind of person in life. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Like, y'all want to be valuable to each other to where ain't nobody leaving. You know what I'm saying? And that's the dopest shit. Like,
being indispensable, man.
Sean and I, we battle with value for the company. And as a result, our company, they be throwing, like, venture capitalists be throwing money at us. We're like, we good, watch out. Nah, get the millions out of here because we making it on our own. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, but that's the vibe, just elevating and trying to be the best, the highest versions of ourselves. And I'm older than y'all, so of course my perspective is different. You know what I'm saying? And the higher you elevate with all of this shit, I can't wait to talk to y'all in 10 years. You know what I'm saying? 15 years when, you know, like Sean, he has a dime, a queen. You know what I'm saying? Like the ideal situation. You know what I mean? And, you know, he did that. He got that by just being a fucking, like what he said. He was never a chaser of women, but he always had a beautiful woman by his side. Like, cool, all of that shit. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I feel like I don't know. I'm just feeling a certain way right now about all of this shit. I feel like y'all, everybody's uncle.
I'm interested in 5 years from now for you guys because you've hit a stride right now. A little bit later in life, you're not old. Like I'm only a couple years older than you, and like 5 years older than you, and then of course Mike's been doing it a little bit longer than us even. So there's just more time is gonna pass, and maybe not your opinions, because I don't even disagree with really any of your opinions, but maybe some of the deliveries are different. Because like for example, and I get it because some of it is catchy, like the
Punch that baby.
What was Wednesday?
Oh, Womanizer Wednesday.
Well, yeah. So like, it sounds funny and it's cool and I get it and it's catchy. But like the treating them like they're from the streets or they belong to the streets. That I know what you mean because I've asked a couple questions and now I know what you mean. You're like, don't give too much of yourself too soon.
Yeah.
These are things that in a different vernacular I tell people, but I just say it different, and I think it does have a different. Even though the intentions I think we both have is the same, it can come out different to someone who's lower than you are. You're in a certain place right now, so you can take that information and do the right thing with it. Someone else might take that information and be like, treat every girl like just like very, very rude, or like in a way that's not going to actually get them what they want. Or if it does, like I said, it won't match up with who they really are. They're not really that guy, and then there won't be any retention for them.
Yeah, not rude, just indifferent. Yeah. Don't put her on a pedestal like society tells you.
Just be normal. Just be normal.
But see, for most guys, being normal means nice.
Yeah,
that's why we have to deprogram.
Normal, you're gonna set about because now you're saying, hey, just do you, boo. And it's like, no, that's not.
They're gonna be the nice guy. They're gonna supplicate. They're gonna conform to her reality. So the reason why we deliver so harshly, because we've gotten that critique plenty of times. Like, man, y'all are right, but you guys be saying it in a certain way. And the reason why I say it is because it's almost better to be polarizing, because when you're polarizing, you're memorable. So when I tell guys punish bad behavior, you know what I'm saying? If a girl flakes on a date, or she belongs to the streets unless proven otherwise, even though that the delivery might be tough or whatever, it's memorable, and they're going to be like, okay, they're saying it in a way where now I know I can't be a nice guy. Because if I leave it to their own interpretation, like, just be yourself. Well, most guys are nice guys. So what are they going to do? They're going to be a nice guy and supplicate to the girl, which is inherently unattractive. So we are a bit polarizing. I admit that. But our thing is, our message is like to be absorbed by men in a locker room fashion, a barbershop type vibe, where the guys can feel comfortable hearing that information and applying it correctly, because at least it's memorable. But yes, guys, don't be a dick to a girl just on a date just to be it. But you need to be indifferent where she almost might think you're a dick because you don't care about the interaction. That's going to make you attractive.
And I can't tell you how many girls, husbands, wives who told us, you saved my marriage, you saved my relationship, because they needed to hear that hard message because they've been told comforting lies for a long time. And this delivery is like, damn, it hit home because it hurt, but it hit where it needed to hit. So I get what you're saying. It might be a little bit rough on the edges, but it does pierce the nerve that says, you know what, damn, this is some real talk right here. So,
Yeah, the shock value helps.
Yeah, and I think and just to cap it off, we want the same thing, which is for men to own themselves,
for sure,
take responsibility for themselves, to know how they need to deal with things, including women. Level themselves up and, progress in their lives.
Facts.
Yeah.
Guys, I mean, the takeaway here, man, I think what everyone agrees is you got to become better. And again, I want to say this one more time, because the guys think when I say this, you don't make money, get in shape, and become better to get girls. You do it to not tolerate the bullshit that inevitably comes with the girls, guys. So you can be your own mental point of origin. Shout out to Rolo, and live your life. And then if she wants to join in, that's cool, but that train ain't stopping.
And there's a two-way street here. Men need to level up, become high value to their own rights, and women also need to understand and be realistic that, hey, you're 35 with 3 kids. I'm sorry, baby girl. That guy you want probably doesn't want you. So women need to be realistic, men need to level up, and from there we can have a kind of like a common ground to kind of grow together. So
yeah, facts.
Yo, on that note, we up out of this bitch. Hey, thank y'all for coming down for real.
Yeah, it's a great show, man.
Like,
it's
it's fun.
Pleasure
Y'all welcome
you
anytime. You know what I'm saying? Look, I found an apartment in
Okay.
Miami.
Hey!
No. I ain't gonna take it right now. It'd be too much fun. I had too much fun. Them little couple of days I was out there. So it's not.
We're gonna get you in trouble, bro.
It's not pressing for me to be here right now. You know what I'm saying? But I fucks with Miami big time. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And it's different right now, bro. From the last time I was there it's different.
It's growing exponentially.
The
Yeah.
energy
The city's
is
growing
fucking
fast,
crazy.
bro.
It is a
Sean,
vibe.
What day was we doing y'all podcast? A Wednesday or Thursday?
I think it was a
Wednesday.
I think it was a Wednesday.
After the first one, we went downstairs. We were in Brickell to get food. It was like a Saturday night,
Yeah, it's bumping.
and
Yeah.
but not in a grimy way, like a fly high level way.
When I was there for New Year's, it was amazing.
All the New Yorkers are moving there, bro. Everyone
Yeah.
from the Northeast, it's too expensive to live up there. They're coming to Florida and droves.
California
man.
too.
Yeah,
California as
Less
well.
taxes too.
yeah. You
So-
don't pay that state tax.
Yeah, bro. We don't pay. People forget that about.
Hell yeah.
Nah,
And
that's
it's
real
cheap.
shit. That's real shit.
14%
But
discount.
I think I'm gonna be out there real soon. But I'm gonna come fuck with y'all.
Yeah,
You know
you're
what I'm
bro.
saying?
You're always welcome on the
welcome,
podcast,
So,
man.
we gonna-
I think discussions
we
like
should
this
do,
are
we should do
important.
the podcast on a boat.
There you
Shit,
go.
You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
We'll
let's
bring
do
the
it,
mics
bro.
out.
We bring some ladies.
But no, we can't stream like that though, huh?
No, we
Nah.
can't with good internet connection.
We could
It probably won't be good.
pre-record it.
internet
Or pre-record
connection. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
We got
That'd
you.
be fun. That'd be fucking dope.
Yeah, that'd
Hell
be lit.
yeah.
Hell yeah. Yo, y'all my niggas. All right, that's what's up. All right, y'all. Thanks for tapping in. I'm going in on motherfuckers. And we having fun though in the chat. Hey, I be in the chat. You know what I'm saying? I'm in the trenches with y'all
Yeah.
motherfuckers.
Sub
But
to our channel, guys, please.
Yeah.
Sub to our
Yo,
channel. you Ninja
subscribe
Watchers.
to. I'm gonna post it right now. Hold on,
Yeah.
I'm gonna post the shit in the chat. Hold on
Yeah.
1 second.
Fresh and Fit on YouTube, guys.
Yeah, you can follow us on Instagram as well.
Yeah.
Fresh Prince CEO, Unplug Fit 2Ts,
Yeah.
and then our main page, Fresh Fit Miami, where you see all
Why
the
the
lines.
Fresh Prince?
Honestly, man, I definitely felt like I was a prince in Barbados. I
Oh.
felt like I was always fresh as hell. And then I loved the show Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Like, I'm not going to lie, that show was funny as hell. I liked Will Smith a lot. Pause. The guy now, though, is kind of a little bit different. But at the same time, you know, that was part of my culture, whatever. And at the same time, I said, you know what? How can I bring this together? A name that's going to brand me and what I'm about. So Fresh Prince is probably like me being fresh, me being a prince. And then CEO just stands for control every opportunity. So that was kind of like my slogan.
There you go. But yeah, man. Yeah, and Patreon.com/FreshFit
I'm
for
gonna pin it.
crazy content.
I want to see Fresh and Fit up to 300,000 by tomorrow.
Hey,
Damn, for real, man. Appreciate that, guys.
Thank you,
right
man.
there. That's why I screenshot to make sure we get it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm applying pressure. All right, 300,000 wow by tomorrow.
Thank
all
you,
right?
man.
man.
Thank you. I
So that's
appreciate
what's
that,
up.
bro.
I appreciate
And if you're not
y'all.
sub to Mike's channel, sub to Mike's
Yeah,
channel
sub to
as
Mike's
well,
channel,
man.
man.
Show some love, man.
Shout out
'cause
to Mike. Great
bring us
fitness
on.
content.
Bring us on, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
We're
bro,
controversial.
We're
anytime.
controversial.
This is fun. I don't feel like we had controversy though. You know what I'm
We
saying?
say crazy stuff. I ain't gonna lie.
Not
Yeah.
tonight. Like,
Yeah.
It was chill.
Yeah.
But we need to have more people on and some different perspectives.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I'm down to debate feminists.
It's easy though. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing. It'd be like, not y'all, but it's certain people, because people will send me articles.
Of course.
It's just why, like, they'll find some obscure website in the corners of the internet.
Yeah.
And be like, see, to prove their point
Yeah,
from
facts.
some feminist website that nobody knows ever heard of. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but I don't know if there's anybody out there that opposes this kind of information with a decent platform to have a decent.
Yeah.
I don't know if y'all know about it or not.
Not really, bro. Honestly, I feel
because
like
if it was, that would be dope to have a discussion, a back and forth. You know what I mean? Respectfully.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But there are people who be claiming this masculinity is dying and all of this shit, and what the standard of masculinity is, and they're not even masculine.
Boom.
Ben Shapiro. You know what I'm saying? People like him. I'm like, motherfucker, you are not. You're not the one.
nope.
Don't go there, bro. You know what I'm saying? So because a lot of their shit be. What they're trying to say is not what they're saying. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of with some people, it's some dog whistle. You know what I'm saying? And some, they got other shit. Because I follow people who might not be the typical people that you would think that I would follow. Because I'm not an echo chamber guy by any means. And they say very disrespectful shit when they're comfortable. You know what I'm saying? So I would love the opportunity to talk to people like that guy. You know what I'm saying? So.
There you go, man.
You know.
No, man, but thanks for having us on, bro. It was lit.
Yep.
All right, we up out of this bitch.
Peace.
Peace.
Bam.
Cool.